a free bonus link down below in the description, and you can sign up and get started trading XRP as well and just join me. That would be pretty amazing. But detailed breakdown, 4-hour Ichimoku, one, price versus cloud. Price is breaking above the red cloud. So as we can see here, the Ichimoku cloud is showing me, yeah, it's going up. Cloud ahead, future Como is starting to thin out, meaning bearish momentum is weakening. I mean, it's too early to say. Yeah, it is the bearish, like the bear market we saw right now. It's not that bad, but it's not that great either. Like the prices right now, in my opinion. So that's something I'm worried about. But the overall factor is that XRP right now is bullish momentum, medium to bullish momentum. So that's good news. Chikoku span. So here's something that we guys haven't been talking about. Chikoku span is saying, where is XRP heading? Right now, it's trend neutral, bullish confirmation. If these three things, strong bullish, price cleanly stays above the cloud. So it needs to stay above a certain price point, and then it's going to be okay, right? So this is the most important factor, is the price needs to stay like this green cloud that you're seeing, this very small green cloud over here. It needs to stay strong. So bearish if this happens. If price closes back or inside below cloud, then we're going to be seeing some different momentums. At this point, we're going to be seeing a fake breakout and it could retest 1.9 levels again. And that's the worrying factor I'm seeing here for XRP. So bearish if this happens, if price closes back inside or below the cloud, below 220. So if we drop back below 220, again, it's going to go just back down to where we were. So it's kind of like a bridge, but the bridge doesn't work 100%, right? It's just working slightly. So what I would do, not financial advice, wait for a clean breakout confirmation above the cloud, or if scalping, only small long positions about 225 with a tight stop near 220. So you get the pretty clear idea of what's happening here right now. And yeah, I do definitely think a long here for the short term is smart, because I'm starting with very small funds. I can only trade like 10%. A $5 open with what, a 10x leverage. 10x leverage seems like a lot. It's easy to get liquidated. I'm gonna do a 5x. And that's a lot. Like, you don't have to do. You can also have a free bonus trial funds here, whatever. I never do these trial funds because I like to, if you play with like, your own deposits, then you're going to make better trades. That's what I'm doing. And I can afford it and always take a stop loss. So I'm going to open a 5% stop loss, 5% non-stop loss. I would make 25 cents, right? Unless I go for a 10x leverage and borrow more. That would also be nice. So we could do like a 8x leverage because we're doing such a small position, and ask basically for them to open our trade. But even if it goes a bit down, I'm not too afraid. Like, we're 0.14% up, so 1 penny, and then we're suddenly down, right? This is because I'm using a high leverage. If you go to a 5-minute chart over here, it's just not enough to see the data, right? It's just like the red and green lines are too weird right now. How can XRP reach $4 again? Let's talk about this. How can XRP reach $4? So I just opened a new trade, guys. If that's something of interest to you, smash that like button. And I will keep you guys updated with more news. But if we want to reach XRP $4, $5, this is how XRP will reach $5. So XRP could hit $4 again only if a lot of big picture stuff lines up. And again, I'm using 2-bit over here to see when it's going to go up. And don't worry too much about the charts. I just opened a trade of $42 with, some perpetuals, and I'm like going up and down. Big things that would have to go right. A strong, broad crypto bull market. XRP rarely pumps totally alone. Like, if Bitcoin goes up, that's one scenario. Bitcoin and massive bull run new at its highest. Altcoin, where major Ethereum, Solana are also flying. Huge new retail institutional money coming in. I mean, we already have institutional money. Guys, and again, let me just show you what 2bit is offering. If you want to get started trading XRP today, simply click the link in the description below, click register to participate, and sign up over here for a free bonus. Like the video and join me, link in the description below. So yeah, clean, boring regulation, no new drama. The SEC craze was already a huge overhang. For a multi-dollar move, you need 0 new major legal shocks. No fresh lawsuits, FUD, and US, EU, Asia. I mean, that would be good, right? Because we're not expecting that. At least crypto has been good. But we really didn't get to any prices with XRP, like for 1 year now. So that's something to also consider. 1 year without the big, beautiful prices going up is what kind of scares me. More banks, payment companies using Ripple Stack with actual volume. This is happening here, but it's happening very slowly-ish. So I'm going to give it a benefit of the doubt. So that's going to be one thing that I'm still, considering if is it going to be a big thing. Good marketing narrative, XRP Global Payments Remittance FX Bridge. This is something that a lot of YouTubers have been talking about. Again, I think it's a pretty big thing, but at this point, we're so early into the crypto game that we're still basically waiting on what will happen from here. So that's the point of where we could go up to $4 with XRP. We need something to push it off. Because if you can see, we've been going downwards. Actually, a downtrend over here. But I am up 0.5% on my trade, which is pretty nice. So liquidity derivative interest. For XRP to run that high, deep spot liquidity on Binance, Coinbase, hyperperpetual futures and options volume, leverage amplify moves, market makers actively supporting order books so big players can build exit positions. I think we already have enough liquidity for XRP anyway. Sustained reclaim of $1 era old psychological structural level. I don't know if it's ever going to go below $1. Because right now, what we're seeing is XRP already built a resistance line. Let me show you guys this here. It already built a resistance line at about 1.82. These are the resistance levels. And basically, it bounced off the first resistance level exactly at 187. Bounced off at 151. Well, never even reached 151 and never reached $1. So if we want to reach it below $1 and you want to get it for cheap, you will first have to wait that it drops below 187. And it failed this time. Might be alive next time. That's another thing that, I am wondering what will happen with that. But so far, so good at least. So I want to see if XRP... What you shouldn't do mentally, don't treat XRP must go back to $4 as guaranteed. Markets don't care what it once was. That's true, but the community is still here. Even during the bear market, I think the issue is we need Bitcoin to go back up. Like these big whales, they bought exactly at 3.66. And we check coin info over here. We can see, it's existed for over 12 years. This is why people will buy it. I still think it will be around in 1 to 3 years. So that's the important factor here, is many people will just keep holding it, even if it's gonna be much, much more expensive. They will still keep returning because XRP is finally a company that's profitable. So that's where XRP wins. How to trade and invest around this idea, non-financial advice. If you want a position in the case $4 happens, decide upfront what's your invalidation. Weekly close below X cut. Are you trading swings or just a long-term holding? So let's check with ChatGPT if XRP can hit $10 with the cloud. This is a trading strategy I'm using right now for XRP. I'm down 2% on my position. Markets have been very crazy, which is about 10 cents. So if you guys want, use the link in the description below. But let's ask ChatGPT how it could reach $10. And I'm also going to provide a photo for it over here. I think that would give it more data of what the prices are. It's going to understand, what exactly is happening, at least sort of. So let's just go and ask it over here. How can XRP reach $10? And go straight ahead. This is the big problem. A lot of people are saying, well, XRP will reach $10, but they don't know why. We got to look at the charts here and see what people would say, you know. On this chart frame, Ichimoku says no, not even close yet. There is zero structure pointing towards $10. Now it'll break down considerably clearly using your chart. 4-hour Ichimoku analysis of XRP. Price is below the cloud means bearish. So if it's red, it means bearish. Cloud is red and thick. Future cloud is also red. This is bearish trend structure, not even neutral. So you can see on the long-term chart, XRP is neutral right now to bearish. It's going down in that way, in that path, which scares me, at least for now, of where it will go. So that's the most important factor here. But the key lines are bearish. Tenkan to Kijun, both are pointless, looking flat down, cross happen below the cloud. And if you guys want to get started trading, use the 2-bit in the description below as well. Okay, I'll tell you guys why exactly. There's an airdrop that I want to share to you guys. If you want to get started trading XRP today, simply click the link in the description below, click register to participate, and sign up over here for a free bonus. Like the video and join me, link in the description below. So yeah, that's pretty much it. There's a lot of like trades I'm doing on 2-bit. So if you guys want to join me, link in the description below. But Chikou span lagging line is below price and inside candles. This confirms XRP is still in a bear trend. No trend reversal, no breakout behavior. Chikou says no uptrend yet. So nothing is showing that we're going to $10 yet. Unlike other channels, you know, they're saying, oh, we're going to $20, we're going to $30. We're going to $50, $60, $70. It's not going to be super easy to hit those numbers at the start. And once we do, to get $10, Ichimoku needs all of this first. So how can we reach $10? This is like Ichimoku is like the trading chart. You can also take trades. I took a trade, opened it, and it's open right now. It's like 1 cent on 2-bit. So bullish DK cross above the cloud, not inside, not below it. A strong signal must happen above the cloud. So did you see, guys, where the clouds were going up when the clouds were green? And that's the important factor here. Look at this. Look how the price went up because the clouds were here green. I don't know if you guys can see it, but it's pretty obvious that the prices were going up when the cloud was super, super green. People were buying and following the clouds. It's a bit harder to understand the first time I'm making this because it's like a special type of trading strategy. It's used a lot in Asia, but it's not used here. So a lot of these traders, they're using like different price analysis, but I like using this one because I was recommended it and I just enjoy doing something more niche in that matter. So Chikou breaking above candles plus cloud. Chikou must clear all previous actions. Future cloud flips green with a white Kumo. I'm gonna please help me explain this to my viewers, how XRP can reach $10, because this stuff is hard to understand. Chance of $10 is basically zero in current trend structure. Chance of $4 is very low. Chance of $3 is low until a cloud break. So we're going to need some sort of a boost to reach $4 at this point. It's not going to be instantaneous. It's not going to be easy. It's not going to be simple. But here is what we're seeing. How can XRP reach $10? Explained simply. First, what does $10 XRP mean? For XRP, the whole crypto market needs to be on massive bull run, not a small pump, a full bull cycle. At $10, market cap would begin at about $550 billion. So what needs to happen for $10? There are 3 main conditions. Condition 1, a real crypto bull market. Bitcoin would need to break all-time highs. When Bitcoin pumps hard, liquidity flows into large altcoins like XRP. Again, so a lot of the money that's going from Bitcoin is going into XRP. And then XRP needs a trend flip. Right now, the whales are selling off their liquidity and assets of XRP for basically a profit. They're slowly selling it off, which is the scary part, but this is how the markets work at this point. And we are just waiting for another confirmation. So a big narrative, every crypto that makes moves has a huge story. XRP will need a strong narrative like banking adoption, cross-border payments, big partnerships, global liquidity, clear regulations. And you can see as soon as the elections were announced, 17 November, 15 November 2024, exactly like 1 year ago, maybe 1.2 years ago, whatever it is, over a year ago at this point, we saw a massive pump as soon as Trump went big on crypto. You know, this is when we saw the clouds green here, and we saw the support levels building up. So is $10 possible? Yes, but not today and not in current trend. Break above $1, break 1 to 5 to $2, break old highs at 3.4, enter price discovery, ride the bull market momentum up to 6, 8, or possibly $10. It won't happen in one candle. It's a step-by-step process driven by a bull market and strong momentum. If Bitcoin goes in a strong full bull cycle, XRP can absolutely make moves. But for $10, XRP needs a clean trend reversal, big market movement, a strong narrative, and time, several months. So it will take several months. It will not be... You guys remember when a lot of people were saying, oh, XRP can hit $10 so fast. No, this is not true. XRP can hit $10, but it won't be magic. It needs a bull market, a trend flip, and a powerful story. So right now, my trade on XRP is slightly longish, but it's really 50-50 right now. It can go either way, right? This is the problem. I'm really worried in what way it will go. But as I'm learning Ichimoku clouds and as I'm learning trading, I'm starting to understand what's happening in XRP. And you can see this like green cloud over here of how much the green clouds were up compared to other prices. You can see they are very good to follow. You know, you can see when the prices will go up. They're not made for 1 hour charts. They're made for 5-hour charts. But that's where XRP really does have the potential, in my opinion. So if you want, I can also write it in short, Reels, TikTok, So yeah, you have a pretty clear idea of XRP hitting $30 or $10. We're still not close until those, lines break above, a certain level. So just let that sink in. So $20 20 XRP position open over here. So I did open a position. I might close it. Is there another one I have? No, it's pretty much my stop loss has been, I have to close it at this point because it went down, but I will reopen it right now. So if we check on the 5-minute chart, what's happening, because my stop loss is at 5%. If you don't set a stop loss, it's like driving without a wheel. Look, and it's going further downtrend. You can't even decide what's going to happen next. Like on the 5-minute frame, it's super hard to see. But this whale just bought 219 and sold everything at 222 to 220. So even though he bought maybe a very small amount, he made a huge profit here. And that's what really matters to him, right? But I'm still bullish here. I'm going to do an 18 XRP bet. I think this is a perfect candle for a breakout, but what we're just going to do is a small trade over here. So we're going to buy a long, and I just opened a long position. Let me see if it went through. It should have went through so far. If you want to see my past trades, these are some of the past trades. We're doing a challenge as well. So let me see here. Okay, is it open? Okay, I'm up to 0.21%. Did I open 2 longs or did I open 1 long? I'm pretty sure I opened 2 longs, or at least new orders. Let's cancel these orders and we have a position open now. And we're already up about 3 cents. So again, if I was trading with like $1,000, what this would basically mean is I would be in profit like, I could be $600 in profit at that point. So this is where XRP like trading really matters. So can XRP, what else? What else can we ask you about XRP? That's what I'm wondering. Because it's It's been a heck of a ride for XRP at this point. Been absolutely. Is XRP undervalued or fairly valued? What would need to happen to XRP to break its all-time high? Oh yeah, this is a good one. Why hasn't XRP moved in years, and what will change that? Let me know in the comments which ones you want to hear. Up next, what is most likely long-term price range for XRP? This one is good. I like this one. What would a full XRP bull run look like on the chart? So here we have the XRP bull run on the chart. How does XRP behave in past bull cycles? What would XRP bull run? How much can we reach? Long-term price goal for XRP. Explain it simply, but with trading clouds and for viewers. So this is the one thing that XRP, like I'm already up 2.8% on this trade because I'm learning how to trade now. So that's absolutely fantastic for anyone watching. Absolutely cool that we are, we can just ask ChatGPT in today's advancement and it just gives us the answers it expects. And that's what I like to see in today's world. Like it's hard to get this level of commitment or like explanation from anyone. So everyone wants a magic number for XRP. Instead of guessing, let's talk about realistic price zones and how I use the Ichimoku Cloud to see the zone we're in. So right now I have a long for XRP and my profit is at 5%. So if I am 5% in profit, that's exactly what I'm doing. I'm taking profit and that's it. And that's something I'm going to be showing you guys. I'll be right back. If you want to get started trading XRP today, simply click the link in the description below, click register to participate, and sign up over here for a free bonus. Like the video and join me, link in the description below. So yeah, just had to check over here. For long term, I don't think in exact prices, I think in zones. Zone 1, sideways, cheap under $1. Strong bull, but not crazy, between $1 and $4. Zone full send hype above $4 when things like $6 to $10 will be possible. So zone 1 under $1. So this is the zone 1. Let's actually pinpoint that. We want to pinpoint zone 1. That would be absolutely awesome. I'm going to make this chart a bit bigger. We don't actually need order books and trades. You can see what whales have sold. This is the one thing I like about XRP. Is you can see how many trades the whales are doing here. And if there's a big trade, like someone bought just $6,000 of XRP, right? No problem. But if you are like tight on space, you can actually close that. So that's something a lot of people don't know. And anyway, zone 1, we can mark it over here. We have to go on the 4-hour chart. I know the Ichimoku clouds are confusing, but once you start to understand what's happening in the prices, that's where we go. And my support level, this is the first support level we have. $1.15 for XRP. People will start to sell at $1.15. And as you can see, we're 4% in profit. So under $1 is bearish. When XRP is below a red cloud on the daily, I treat it as a zone 1 behavior. Trend is weak. Market doesn't care yet. Long term, I'm not thinking $10. I'm thinking, can I get even back $1? And this is going to be us in the bear market. If you check right now, we're still longish on XRP. We're still bullish. We're making the right trades. We're 17 cents up because we understand right now that if we're doing some scalping, we understand where the bottom is. And that's the real issue in bear markets. It's hard to understand where it will happen. So healthy bull run trend. For XRP to live in zone 2, around $1 to $4, I'd want to see them on daily, weekly. Price above the cloud. Cloud flip green and gets thicker. So we would need to see the cloud over here get very green if we want to see $4 at this point. This is the scary part. So this is going to be the hard part, seeing, $14. But the fast line, Tenkan stays above the slow line Kijun. That tells me we're in a proper uptrend, not just a random pump. In the zone, retest of old highs around $2 to $3 become realistic. And again, if you guys want to get started on 2Bit, you can use the link in the description below there's going to be an XRP airdrop. So that's something I'm going to be talking about. But then we have zone 3 above $4, where $6 to $10 becomes possible. For $6 to $10 to be even on the table, XRP would have to be well above a thick green cloud on the weekly chart, have the cloud pointing up for months. And you can actually see we were going in red, you know, here. This was a super big red. This is when I told you guys a whale has sold. Exactly at this point. Look, when I made this crossover here, you can see a big whale sold, and there was a big, big red cloud. We're not talking about the normal day. We're talking about Bitcoin all-time high. So if we ever want to see XRP at $10, this is going to be the long-term outlook. So right now on higher time frames, XRP is not this kind of structure. So $10 is not a base case. It's a top-end scenario for the big bull run. I think in probabilities, most of the time we're in zone 1 and 2. So most of the time we're either under $1 in XRP. Like it's not staying in $3.6 for a long time. You got to realize that. That's a very important factor you guys should know. Most of the time it's either staying here or it's staying here, $1 to $4, right? So right now we're in zone 2. We're not that terrible in zone 1, which would be, for me, it would be 1.15 cents. But we're between these zones. We're between 1.41 and we're 185. So we're exactly between these zones a bit here. We can actually make another trend line. Bam, over here. I'm going to say 2.81 because that was like the first peak of the wave. We could even say even lower now, 2.5, just to make it sure. So you guys understand what exactly is happening. So right now, only in a strong bull market with XRP above a green weekly cloud, good volume and a big story, zone 3 is $4 and maybe $6 to $10. And this is the most important factor. We're still far, far away from that on the long-term outlook. So what's the long-term outlook of XRP? I'm wondering. I'm like 4% now in the trade. So I like to follow where we are on the trades as well, because we're just going to close it now on profit. So thank you guys for using the link description below. It's large old altcoin with big community. It survived the SEC lawsuit, but it has not made new all-time highs in years. Other coins, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana have outperformed it recently. I mean, yeah, but it's trying. It's going there because it had a big lawsuit. You know, that's why it couldn't do all-time highs. It's not dead, but it's not a market leader either. I mean, what are you saying, ChatGPT? It has the biggest volume. Think of it as slow, heavy coin that needs a big bull market and strong narrative. Okay, well, the strong narrative is if people like institutions start using crypto, that would be an absolute great way for them to go in. So we're going to close down this one with, actually, yeah, 4.2%. We're going to close this one with 4% profit. So this is the pretty good factor. Let's just close it over here. Close long, and I'm going to open another one pretty much soon. I'm happy with 4% of a profit on a trade. That's absolutely amazing. So what needs to happen is fundamental storage side. Crypto is in a bull cycle. Bitcoin at or above at its highest. Clear regulations, so big money safe, feels safe touching XRP. That's why XRP is buying big institutions. Real visible usage, banks, payments, companies using Ripple Tech. XRP actually moving serious cross-border volume. A strong narrative, XRP global liquidity bridge remittance rail. If these don't improve, XRP likely underperforms other high growth coins. So on the chart, what can we see here? On the weekly chart, I use the Ichimoku cloud to see the big trend. Below our red cloud is long-term trend is weak. Inside the cloud, it's indecisive. Above a thick green cloud, it's strong uptrend. Bullish term outlook, XRP above a green weekly candle and staying there. That's where a multi-million dollar price becomes the realistic, or like a multi-dollar, let's say $7, $10 XRP, not just random spikes. Right now, general picture has XRP has spent a lot of time below or near the cloud on higher time frames, not a clean, strong uptrend yet. Realistic long-term view, no hopium. So what's the honest long-term outlook for XRP? Its base case, XRP survives, trades in a wide range under $1 to a few dollars, depending on how strong the next bull market is. in a full crypto bull run with XRP breaking above the weekly cloud, strong volume, and a good payment narrative, it revisits old highs and maybe go beyond. So we're not still in a bull run market at this point. This is something to consider. If adoption stagnates and other tech narratives win, XRP can lag behind. Now, this is where I don't think like other coins are going to replace XRP. That's simply, I don't think it's going to happen. XRP isn't guaranteed to go to the moon. So this is also isn't that long term. It isn't high risk, high uncertainty that bets on the next crypto cycle, regulations. I mean, it won the regulations. So that's the most important factor we have right now. So whether it could flip into the strong uptrend or weekly cloud. Nice closing disclaimer for you. I'm not telling you to buy or sell XRP. I'm just showing you how I look at the long term. So it's looking like that the base case for it is it's going to be in very wide ranges when the bear market starts. So the next bull market, bull case, in a full crypto bull run with XRP breaking above weekly cloud, strong volume, and a good payments narrative, it could go to $4 and maybe go beyond. But worst case scenario, it happens the same with Shiba Inu. So we got to look at Shiba Inu over here. So let me just explain the story of SHIB USDT. So Shiba Inu used to be the biggest thing in 2021. And, will XRP follow the same pattern? That's something I'm worried about SHIB here. Could it go the same pattern as SHIB? Could XRP die like Shiba Inu did in terms of hype? And there was a lot more retail in 2021. So that's something to consider, right? And we're seeing the same patterns in terms of retail buying XRP, people being excited for XRP. Yes, 100% XRP can die in terms of hype. But the thing is, XRP really does have the technology, right? Not literally go to zero, but fade into being another old coin. I mean, it's like 12 years old. Shiba Inu is only 4 years old. And it didn't have enough to build. It's just like, it was not sustainable to grow. So I am really, really, really excited to what will happen. It still has a big market cap and active trading, but the crazy 2020 meme hype is gone for most retail traders, and I'm not sure it's going to come back. Now there's a new narrative for crypto, which does not involve Shiba Inu. It involves technology. Notice how we're always talking about big institutions and XRP. So the same could happen to XRP. Why hype dies? This is key for viewers. New narratives appear. AI coins, RWA, new memes, new layer ones. But here's the thing, though. Yes, it's not perfect right now for XRP, and I'm using 2bit to open my trades. Link in the description below if you want a free XRP bonus, which I'm going to be talking about. So price action gets boring. Long sideways, underperforming versus Bitcoin, Solana, Ethereum. But if you can survive a lawsuit, you can survive a lot of things. This is the real important factor that nobody's speaking of. XRP survived so much, and it just bought a $200 million company, and it's finally profitable. Story gets old. XRP will work with the banks and has been talked about for a decade. And when you see about XRP, it did not go this path yet, right? It was not talked about the banks. It was just another meme coin hype. And again, someone that has started his career with Shiba Inu, it literally dropped all-time lows. So new wave of retail comes in who never lived the XRP hype. For them, XRP is just another old boomer coin. So I think that the majority of people who believe in XRP also believe in the technology that's possible with, the future with RWA. And here's the thing. XRP is now not becoming just another meme coin. It's getting 10x more than that. It's going much, much stronger in that sense. And here's where I really feel XRP will win. For this simple reason that XRP has big companies, $200 million deals. And, You know, how many crypto projects do you know that can have just a $200 million deal? Not many. So can XRP specifically lose hype like SHIB? This is what happened to Shiba Inu. Fortunately, Shiba Inu, I don't know if it can recover because I had to sell some of my position due to live situation around 0.3, but I did not sell it at the maximum hype. I believe some of the whales did, and they made millions of dollars. Some of the whales sold their XRP at $4. That's fine. But a lot of these coins are now getting away from, you know, just being in crypto so they can survive a bear market. Because when a bear market hits, that's it. You know, like, how are you going to base the staff? How are you going to base the team? XRP would have to close down. Well, in a good scenario here, it seems like a lot of people talk about XRP. Like, it's more talk than Bitcoin. This is where it wins. More talk than anyone else. Fewer new buyers care. It becomes a new backholder coin. So this is the thing. Like, you could even have people who have bought XRP in 2013 come to events, talk about it. It's a big part of it. So I'm definitely really excited for that as well. And XRP stays around, pumps sometimes with the market, but never leads, never sets the tone. And people trade it and nobody is emotionally obsessed anymore. This is honestly a very plausible outcome. Hype rebirth hard mode. For XRP to regain hype instead of losing it, it would need a mega bull market, clear regulation plus clarity. And it already has clear regulation, right? It just won a lawsuit and it's becoming like the main brand of crypto. It's not even a crypto coin anymore. It's more like a whole company. A mega bull market. We just need Bitcoin at 150,000. And banks above weekly Ichimoku cloud at new highs. Now, Shiba Inu doesn't have the same luck as XRP did because XRP started building around Bitcoin time. And Shiba Inu is something that, you know, just started like growing overall. It's not guaranteed. It's bull case, not the default. XRP could dice in terms of hype like Shiba did, not to go to zero. If XRP keeps underperforming. But the prices don't underperform. It's still staying above $2. It's obviously not going to stay above $3. Then nobody will chase newer coins and XRP will become that old coin from the last cycle. On the flip side, if we get a full bull market, XRP breaking above agreed weekly count, a real payment banking narrative with volume, then hype could come back. And it already is that. It's just that a lot of these whales right now are selling all of their positions. And I'm seeing the same pattern with SHIB that I saw with XRP, basically. All of the whales have sold a large majority of their positions. So keep that in mind when you think about Shiba Inu and XRP. Is like these coins can change hype, but the utility, it stays the same. Even if like XRP or SHIB, they're still building. They're going to still stay around for the next 5-10 years, even if bear market comes. A real payment banking narrative with volume. The hype could come back hard, but that's a big if not something as I treat as guaranteed. So it's a pretty clear idea of right now where if we enter a bear market, it's going to be pretty bad for SHIB. XRP is something that has started building like to protect itself from a bear market. That's what I like about the token. It's just XRP coin for them is just this very, very small part of crypto they're going for right now. They're building companies. They just made a $200 million deal. They're going into RWA, FX, like trading stablecoins. They think trading stablecoins is going to be pretty big. So all of these things could push it higher to $10. And that's something I'm really hyped about. I really do hope it happens. So I am personally going to be, if we check out a 5-minute chart over here, let me see. You could actually see that people are moving up on the 5-minute chart. So I'm going to open a trade of $5 with a top loss and stop loss. I'm going to go here advanced. And if you guys want to open a trade, link in the description below. We'll keep you guys updated. So just log in and sign up. So this is actually going to be a smaller short from me, just like a $10 position. I'm doing like 8x leverage because we're doing a challenge. We're going from 0 to a hero, basically. But it does seem like it's slightly bearish here. All right. So let us buy a long then. And we're down already. But I think over the long run, it's forming new highs because Bitcoin is breaking up, right? So who knows at this point? So we do have another update for XRP as well. So this is a huge update that nobody's talking about. Okay, so we're going up now. Good. This is the scary part I'm seeing. It would be nice if XRP exploded based on the future predictions. So let me just check on that. Absolutely incredible. So estimating XRP breakout based on structure, it would be amazing. Good. We do have also very important news for XRP is that right now XRP has been absolutely bullish as well, because what I'm seeing right now with XRP is that even at these levels, it's gonna push again up towards 2.58. So that's a very good sign if you ask me. Pushing for 258 is obviously a clear sign towards like a top signal basically. So on your 4-hour chart, price is squeezed between rising short-term support and horizontal trendline resistance. These two lines will meet the apex wedge in roughly 20 to 40 candle on your now. 20 to 40 candles on a 4-hour chart is about 3 to 7 days. So it's asking 3 to 7 days before it pumps. That's absolutely amazing. It could break earlier if a big buyer seller steps in. It could also fake out and slip back into the chop. So should I buy long or sell short? So it's saying 3 to 7 days before we're seeing like a breakout for XRP. And this kind of makes sense because if you look at the overall pattern over here, you could actually see that, you know, it took here 1 day, like 1 day-ish to go to above 3 cents. But then if you zoom out, I know my charts are a bit messy right now. It's because I'm using Ichimoku clouds to do my trades. And that's something I'll be teaching you guys. So thank you so much if you're watching my channel. Thank you for smashing that like. 2.18 to 2.26. So see, it can go up overnight. So long only confirm on breakout. You're looking on a 4-hour strong close above 2.22. Candle body above the cloud. Next candle is instantly back down. I can't tell you buy this or short that, but based on your chart, I wouldn't open a blind long or short here. Price is right at a resistance inside the cloud. This is exactly the, the price point we're waiting for something big to happen. But personally, because I believe in XRP and its price plan, I'm going to open a $5 trade. Why didn't I do the stop loss? Never do that. Always open a stop loss, because if you do not, you could basically like lose your whole position. I always do like a short trade, do like a sort of a stop loss. So that's a very important factor. Long only and confirmed breakout. Strong close above 2.22. So it does mean whales are still buying XRP. They have not given up on it. And it does also tell me that there's still whales, basically, like the ones that are selling, it's not enough. And there could be a further breakout from this. So I open a small position. Short only on clear rejection. And I think this is like, there's no clear rejection sign here. There's no clear sign that XRP is gonna super crash right now, right? So that's an important further breakout. Everyone is saying XRP is gonna crash. Nothing indicates right now that we're crashing. Like a lot of people are saying this is it. This is over for the market. But literally what we're seeing is the opposite. ChatGPT is saying the opposite. Yes, we're going higher, but it's going to take a few days. Could take 3 days, could take 4 days, could take 5 days. And I think this is the important factor a lot of people are missing out in crypto, is these things take time. It's in the middle of the decision point inside at the edge of the cloud, under a long downtrend line. If you're not sure, no position is a position. Waiting for one of those conditions above is the best move. Risk small, 1 to 2% account per trade. No huge leverage, all in place. Decide entry, stop, and target before you click buy, sell. If you guys want to get joined and join trading as well and join the like-minded community of traders, there's a link in the description below that I showed you guys. And basically, the first one to reach 1 million trading volume gets 90 XRP. And then you get all these rewards. I managed to make a plan with 2bit, like a little partnership for all the traders. So if that's something you guys enjoy, let me know in the comments below. But it does seem like right now it's in a decision point for the short term, but for long term, it could definitely see a breakout. So if we see like 40 candles positive on a 4-hour chart, it's about 3 to 7 days. So a clear move breakout within 3 to 7 days before the aspect apex. So we're going to also ask ChatGPT. We already asked that. So now we're going to ask Grok, the famous Elon Musk's Twitter X space. We got to ask Grok about XRP prices. And we're going to feed the whole data on what's happening and going on. How can XRP reach $5 with ChatGPT? And again, advancement of AI is just insane. Like it ceases to amaze me how strong it is right now. So here we have Grok, and we could just ask it random questions, and it's gonna tell us content of itself. So this is another factor here. So let me just check on that. Grok, what do you think? Are we going to go to $5? How can XRP go to $5? Explain to my YouTube viewers, because we are doing live trades, and I wanna see what will XRP hit $5 2025 or 2026. And again, Grok is so advanced, guys. Smash that like button as well if you haven't already. XRP could reach $5, and then you can see it taking about users' request. It's super searching. It's even searching tweets. So it searches tweets of other like people doing analysis, which is pretty amazing with Grok compared to ChatGPT's example, because ChatGPT doesn't do that. So nailing a sweet 2.8%. $2.18 profit on a long tide with a stop loss at 1.9. Average price holding at 2.18. Maybe it's a bit different by the time this video is out. And let's dive into the big question burning up the chat. How can XRP rocket to $5 and it will smash that level in 2025 or 2026? And I think a lot of people would be very happy if we got, over to 2025 at this point. It would be definitely an exciting factor. XRP is just not another altcoin. It's built for the real world speed and cross-border payments, processing over 5 trillion annually through Ripple's network, blowing past Swift's clunky old systems with a faster, cheaper settlement. It's definitely doing that correctly, so that's what I like to see. But then also, as of today, hitting $5 means a 20.25x pump. That's doable in terms of a bull cycle. But here's the roadmap of 5 key drivers that could make it happen. So regulatory green lights and legal wins. Ripple's SEC is basically fully wrapped, and it has that already. Because if we look at this pattern over here, if we look at like even the 4-hour chart, immediately when Trump stepped into office of 2025, so let's go way, way back on a daily chart, you can actually see over here on 12th of January how much crypto pumped, how much XRP pumped. It tells you everything that you need to know. That XRP has now a better chance at going to $5 than ever before. And Grok is literally trying to tell me that. Spot XRP ETFs are already pulling in 22x68 yesterday alone. Total 811 million across 5 funds. Franklin Templeton is seeing highest volume. So again, it's ETFs that are driving volume. They're not driving nearly enough to make it explode or pump, but it's a very good start I'm seeing for XRP. So this is the important factor that we are looking on the long-term trades for XRP in general, which is good, but it's nothing like XRP ETFs, 70 billion. So we're at right now 811 million trading volume for XRP and ETFs. Demand could 3x the price. Analysts are calling $5 high odds this cycle on ETF hype. I mean, I was hoping the ETFs would actually help us more. So that would be cool, but if not, sure. And live trade alert, volume spikes above 500 million daily. That's your green light target for a $3 swing. So as more people start buying ETFs, that would be another prime example of how XRP could grow up. So again, more ETF volume usually indicates that the prices are going to get higher at this point. So that's a very important factor that most people don't talk about. Now, Ripple stablecoin RLUSD Ignition. This is a sleeper hit. RLUSD pairs perfectly with XRP scarcity. So XRP scarcity pushing past $5 easy. Pro move pair XRP longs with RLUSD news. Aim for 20 to 30% announcements. I mean, yeah, the Ripple stablecoin, I don't really trust it that much. I don't think the Ripple stablecoin is that big of a deal. But a lot of people do enjoy it. A lot of people do like it. Institutional adoption and market cap flip. XRP needs to crack 260 billion for $5. So it's the institutions that really have a lot of money to buy XRP, which is something I think is an awesome idea. I think we haven't seen, XRP really explode yet like before. But there's no retail. You guys got to realize, not a lot of retail right now in this space. And, no retail means no buyouts, basically. So it's going to be a big problem. How can you get sales? And that's the idea, my dear friends. It's the retail that's going to hype us up. So we also have macro bull run breakouts. Bitcoin's halving echo global liquidity alt season. XRP's chart like yours showing it's coiling for a 350% breakout. Now, this is the final plan is entirely reliant on Bitcoin itself. XRP could go a bit further and become its own thing. I'm just kind of worried right now where we would go from here. So this is the important factor. Timeline, 2026 or 2025. $5 is very possible by late 2025 with 2026 locking it and blow off top. The conscious from 15 analyst forecasts I pulled. And again, guys, I have an open position here for my long. 5 bullish for 2025, 581. And average target is 220 to 4.5 and a bearish is $2. But we already went past $2, so this means it would be good if I opened a short, right? So yeah, a long-term long would make total sense here. This is why XRP told me here, if we're bearish, we're already hitting, 1.87. So that means I should open a long here, and I will open a long at this point. I will open a $5 long with a stop loss and a profit loss of 5. So projected income, and we can actually place it right now. And that's it. I'm going to also use leverage a bit because we're pretty low position. So I open a new leverage at this point because this is the exact reason. If the AI is telling me, hey, this is the lowest we can get for XRP, that would be a pretty nice hit. So why 2025? If we break 340 soon, your chart's resistance, Token Metrics says $5 to $10 by year end on the bull momentum. So we need to hit $3.4. Again, if we hit $3.4, $5 to $10 is going to be really easier to carry. Like, it's kind of like, building a snowball. Once you build your first snowball, it's 10 times easier than before. So final trade call, go time, XRP to $5. Hell yeah, it's on the table. Watch ETFs, RLUSD, and then 350 break. Your chart proves the strategy works. So more conservative plays like Kraken Peck, predict that XRP is hitting $2.3, but upside to 8.5 if a Ripple USD scales, which a lot of people have been talking about, a lot of traders. So I'm going to make my own prediction here for XRP. And I have been calling it bullish right now. It's trying to hit for another trend line. Like it's building up resistance, basically. It's building up its support level. And I think 187 is the lowest we're going to go in midterm. This is my honest opinion. This is why I opened the trade. I could be liquidated again here because the crypto markets are very risky right now. But 1.87 is the lowest we will go at this point in this month. We could go in a big crash in January. At some point, we will need a big crash towards even 1.16 cents. So at some point, 1.16 cents is where I think, is going to be the crash. So we're going to have to retest those zones, 1.87, 1.46, and 1.9. But for now, I'm still semi-bullish. I think a further downtrend. So there's two possible scenarios I made here. Either we go slowly up, like we're waiting for Bitcoin at this point, or we're slowly going towards a downtrend. It doesn't seem like that. This is like only maybe 30% of this scenario happening. So a very important factor here for XRP. And if you guys want to get started, don't forget to trade to earn massive XRP rewards. You can power a deposit, and that's something I'll be making a Discord community about. You can roll to become the top trader and win 2,500 XRP. I do have an XRP competition. If you get enough trading volume, deposit and sign up under the link in the description below, you can get 90 XRP, 180 XRP for free, 420 XRP, 1,000 XRP, 2,500 XRP. So yes, you can get 2,500 XRP if you do 40 million trading volume. So you would need to be a big trader, but that's 2,500 XRP extra basically. It's a competition that I made for you guys that we are planning to do with a lot of these partners. So just let that sink in. Pretty awesome to consider overall. But right now, yes, I am still bullish on XRP and I open a trade. So let me open a smaller one. I'm going to close these orders, cancel all of them. Cancel all. Yes, stop loss orders. We have that here. And we're going to buy another. Well, potentially we could buy a long here. So that's one factor. So we requested the order with stop loss, closing the long. So that's something to consider. And yeah, it does have a size of $674, and we're gonna see what happens. I'm gonna wait with this order, see if it goes through. I do hope so. That would be amazing. But right now, I'm still hopeful for XRP to go up. We're only 1% down, which is very normal in markets like that. So if you want to join me, link in the description below. Friends, so yeah, this is a lot of stuff we have to consider basically. 2026 is going to be a different path. And, we're just waiting for one final push until XRP goes down, down, down. So XRP to $5, it's on the table. Watch ETFs, RLUSD, and that 350 break. And this is the most important factor that we have been talking about to you guys on. The most important factor is these 3, 5, 4 things: regulatory green lights, ETFs, inflows, Ripple, LUSD. Some of these are more important than others. And I think the most important is if Bitcoin goes up. And the least important is Ripple coin, stable coin. I think this is going to be like a long-term project for Ripple. I think it's still going to take time, but it's going to be very nice to see. So let us watch while we watch the prices. This is what I wanted to show you. I already did some price predictions, guys, on XRP, how it could launch $5. And I'm wondering, Elon Musk's AI makes shocking price
insane,
prediction.
and Elon Musk's AI is making.
And yeah, guys, I'm trading on 2bit. Right now, I'm down 2.72%. I'm opening and closing trades based on these predictions. So it is a bit funny, but I am asking ChatGPT to make my trade. So it kind of can't decide at this point. It's pretty low. But I'm going to close this position and open another one. So I'm going to market sell this. And I'm going to open a short. And here's why. I'm first going to open a stop loss and do that. And see if XRP is going to be in our favor. So let's open a short. $5 and sell it. Let me go here. $5. It's funny because it's going down so fast. Like literally, it's going down so fast I can't even open it.
An absolutely insane prediction about the markets too. Listen, A lot of questions are circulating around from you guys right now. Are we in a bull market? Are we in a bear market? Is XRP going to go down to $1? Is Bitcoin going to correct down to 80,000, 60,000, or maybe even 50,000?
So yeah, you can see actually it's going towards the downtrend, and I will explain exactly what's happening here. And Grok will as well. This is the important factor that you guys are not seeing. We gotta predict XRP prices using the technology we have.
$1,000 per coin. I mean, people have been losing their minds on social media lately, and I want to cut through a lot of the noise and provide you guys with the cold, hard facts, because I have some pretty solid confirmations with some deep dive analysis on what's actually going down. And Grok's deep analysis tool through AI is actually going to help us really pick apart and get through the noise and just look at
This is the important factor. This is why I'm having a chart open next to it, like next to the video.
the facts in today's video. But first, I want to give an overview of what's happening and, just a reminder to all of you guys. And this is some important perspective. Bitcoin averages about 2 declines of 20% down every single year. Ether averages about 3 declines of 20% down or more per year.
So yeah, it seems like XRP even going down 30% is part of the cycle. It's pretty normal.
The S&P 500 averages 4 declines of 5%, and the NASDAQ averages about 5% or more, about 4 times a year.
Guys, also, if you haven't heard, if you want to join my trading competition, I'm giving away, well, me and the exchange are partnering up for traders to win 2,500 XRP. Link in the description below. Sign up to 2bit and trade to earn massive XRP rewards with more info on what exactly it is. But it's a pretty amazing thing most people are not talking about.
You can see all of the major asset classes in the world go through these periods of large corrections.
So yeah, thanks. This is going to be a big thing. And I think in the future, like we're going to build a trading competition.
And generally speaking, if you were purchasing these assets after their larger corrections, then you're going to be doing extremely well. Now, I'll be backing that with some actual factual data, but we also have to remind ourselves, yes, we did just have Bitcoin go from around $100,000 per coin all the way down to 89,000, but now we've rebounded, and so has XRP. So is
This is the thing. Like sometimes you catch the falling knife. You're never sure until one whale buys the whole supply. This is the part I'm worried about XRP.
Ethereum. So is the rest of the market. XRP is now trading at 223, Bitcoin is now trading at 93,535, and Ethereum's at 3,155. Now, I want to look at Bitcoin real quick here because Bitcoin is still the leader of the market, and pretty much all other cryptocurrencies are still paired to Bitcoin to a certain degree. Bitcoin, if it is able to close above $95,000 by the end of this week, that's actually a very bullish sign and something that you guys...
I agree. Bitcoin needs to close above 100,000 in my opinion for XRP to really go up.
Can't sleep on. This is essentially what we're looking at. I'll get into exactly why, but there's some huge things happening in the crypto industry. And if we even are in a bear market, which some people are thinking we already are, it's not going to last for very long based off of what I'm seeing. Now, the US banking regulators say...
Now, this might be true, but like instead of it lasting 3 years, might only last 1 year.
That banks can hold crypto to pay blockchain network fees. I mean, there's a lot of regulation developments happening there. We also have President Trump saying that the 2000 tariff dividend will be sent to Americans by mid-2026. I want you guys to keep that date in mind, mid-2026. If the bears are right and the bear run started in October, mid-2026, 6 months, perfectly aligns with when Trump is actually going to be handing out these tariff dividends. Really important to keep that in.
I mean, this would be nice. Mid-2026 is when we have the bear market over. This is something that I agree on. Guys, so I open up a short here just so you guys know at, on 2bit, link description below. But yeah, I am 40% up already and we do have stop losses as well. Let me set it up here because you don't want to be, caught with catching the falling knife, basically. So I think that's a important factor a lot of people are not considering. It's a pretty awesome thing that I'm seeing right now, 50% up. Let's go back to the video.
In mind. So I want to dive through what's going on with Grok here because there are some things from a technical perspective that definitely beg our attention. Okay. Basically, what I asked Grok to do was to analyze all previous death crosses, 50-week and 200-week moving averages, and geopolitical factors going on.
I'm kind of worried like about the time now and the time then until it's gonna be a pretty brutal bear market, but it's not gonna be anything like of November 2022. That one was the worst when it was 77% sale.
On in the crypto bull run to tell me the likelihood that the bull run is over and where we will bottom out in the bear market for Bitcoin and XRP specifically. And so Grok gave a very important piece of information here. Grok said, no weekly 50 to 200 death cross has ever failed to mark the start of a major Bitcoin bear market. This is really important. It has never failed. In none of the previous bear markets has this indicator failed. In March 2014, the bear market bottom, January 2016, there was an 85% drawdown from the cycle all-time high, and it was marked by the start.
So yeah, these were pretty bad times. But we got to consider, will this same happen? Look at my trade over here already. Like, are we entering a bear market if I'm 122% on a short up?
25. Neither Bitcoin nor XRP is in a weekly 50 to 200 death cross situation. The 50-week SMA remains well above the 200-week SMA on both assets. The death cross news you're seeing refers to the daily chart, which is a short-term signal and has already happened 4 times this cycle.
So yeah, the death cross, we already saw it 4 times.
Alone without ending the bull run. So the cycle is structurally different, though, from previous cycles, and this is also important. We have massive institutional and ETF capital inflows, hundreds of billions in AUM.
This is the thing. Yeah, we do have institutions more. I mean, I am up on this trade like 2%. Amazing. But there's going to be a big problem because we are seeing another big issue here. And you know what the big issue is there's no retail. There is institution. There's just no retail. And I still don't see enough buys from the institution.
Now.
But this second part, this is true. Like, we're going to see what's going to change. Like, how is US going to support crypto, because it's still very early for that.
The Trump administration explicitly is pro-crypto policy, including the creation of the U.S. Crypto Reserve. That includes Bitcoin and XRP. This is direct government buying. And these two factors make a classic 80 to 85% bear market significantly less likely, in Grok's own words. And this is, I think, honestly a great point. I am in the wheelhouse of thinking that at most we see a 50 to 60% decline because of these sort of situations. Either way, though, whether it's 80% or 60%, it still does provide us an amazing opportunity to get in at extremely low prices before the stimulus comes in, as I was talking about back here.
This is something that I agree. I think that, a lot of people will sell, a lot of people will panic during this time until August or potentially June of 2026. This is going to be the big talk, and we're going to be seeing more about that next year. And again, this market cycle, it could be longer. It does not seem, especially if the stuff ends that we've been all talking about for 3-4 years, that I didn't want to even mention on YouTube because I could get demonetized. But a lot of people are calling for Bitcoin 300K, which could mean, theoretically $8 XRP is possible.
There's currently 68K for Bitcoin.
So I'm up 1.7% now on the trade while doing that. So with 2-bit, like this competition.
Bitcoin and rising. And that can mean that Bitcoin will bottom out around that level. The bottom line at this point in time is the bull market is not over. The weekly chart is still bullish. The geopolitical backdrop is the most favorable it's ever been in history. And the current dip is a high probability buying opportunity before the final leg goes higher.
This is going to be a good part. I'm still waiting for the big bear market, though.
Real cycle top is more likely in 2026 than 2025 based off of what we are seeing. Now, the reason why this is the case is because of how well the markets have recovered following this massive correction.
If Bitcoin can hold above 100,000, it's going to be a very good sign for XRP.
Discord.
So yeah, smash that like button, guys. I'll keep you guys more updated on this one. Exclusive event. Don't forget XRP rewards. Link in the description below. Win up to 2,500 XRP. If you're doing 40 million volume and you're a trader or just buying XRP, you can use 2-bit because I partnered up with them and you get a free 90 XRP upon 1 million trading volume. There's no tricks. There's no fluff. It's just how it works. There's also terms of service, and like, you know, trading is risky, but this is the important part which I'm seeing. So we do have another one from Levi Crypto over here. ChatGPT makes insane price prediction, and we asked ChatGPT for some price analysis, and I just closed in on a 5% profit just as I made this video. I feel like this is a pretty big red candle. It just can't find a bottom level yet. So sometimes I ask ChatGPT to make these trades. It's very advanced, and it makes XRP price predictions. We can even ask about it now. It's a big thing in the crypto space. It's very important. It helps people save lives and in work. What do you think XRP price will be now? And you can just wait and see, and I'm going to open up a trade on that, and then we're going to watch Levi's video on that as well, because this is the thing. A lot of people, they don't understand the power of AI. It just puts up like 50 different things at once. And what I'm doing right now is basically a trading competition. If you guys didn't know, a lot of us traders are joining up and trading XRP or buying, because if you follow the market, you know, even a cool exchange like 2bit, we partner up Line Central, 2bit, trade to earn massive XRP rewards. So I'll leave a link in the description below, guys, but first I'll open this trade. You lost the 220 area in the blue Tenkan line. Either draft a bit lower for the next support zone around the new lows just around here, roughly 2.18 or 2.815 on your chart, or make a weak bounce toward 2.19. I think a weak bounce is possible, so it's just going to be a very, very small bounce at this point. So I need to open a stop loss on this one as well. This is terrible. I did not do that, but always open your stop loss. Bam. So here we have it. We have the trade open. Let's just see what happens. And now we get into XRP making price predictions. So it made me price prediction that it could go either way. So drifting a bit lower for the next support zone. I think this could happen again. Yeah, it could drop further from here by the time this video is out. These is zone exact numbers, and don't rely on a 1 to 5 minute move to guess a future trend. Will it go up or down? What do you think? But I personally think, because there's so many red candles, like when you see here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red candles, you're definitely going to see some greens as well. So always remember, when a whale sells their XRP, there's always going to be another whale that's going to buy it. So high chance it goes down or sideways first before any real move back up. But just as making this, I'm, 1 cent in profit, like 0.34%.
Some similar questions that I asked Grok. Now, what surprised me when I started messing around with ChatGPT is how different the answers were from Grok. You see, Grok was pretty dead set on the fact that we're going to have a bear market continuation with a small probability that we're going to actually shift into a bull run in the short term.
Yeah, the thing is, like, a bear market is not going to be severe as 2022, but it's still going to be pretty good.
Sam Altman's ChatGPT says something completely different. And so
this is good. That's different AI for different opinions. You can see here I have made a video, can XRP launch to $5? And then I also asked him, ChatGPT for my trades over here. Like, it's saying it will go more sideways. So I want to see if it's true. But there's historical pattern summaries, XRP crypto cycles, right?
Institutional adoption. And then the 2022 and 2023 bear market coincided with rising rates, or QT,
and I also asked
crypto-specific shocks. Academic and market studies find a clear positive correlation between expansive monetary policy and crypto rallies. We knew this. I do feel like this is very baseline information. It's not really talking about the specifics as to, how long after QE do we generally see this, but they do mention it at the very least. They also say that XRP historically amplifies Bitcoin moves. When Bitcoin leads a sustained bull run, often after macro tailwinds, easing liquidity / rate cuts, alts tend to enter a stronger alt season. Okay. They also mentioned that on-chain / regulatory shocks matter for XRP, and XRP is particularly sensitive to regulatory or legal developments because of
This is the thing, like what happened with the SEC completely destroyed all momentum that XRP had.
The history. Okay, fair enough. I mean, I didn't really ask it too much about that, but it's answering anyways. Now, what it just
wants to give you all info. That's the info with AI. Many light technical dashboards on November 2025 reported the 50-day MA slightly or below the lower 50-day MA, sustained close above the 200-day MA. So it's basically saying, yeah, if we see, XRP above a certain price point, like for example, above $2, then there's a higher chance, especially if it goes like 200 days, like above.
No, very strongly dictate the beginning and ending of bull and bear runs. And so I wanted to see what it had to say about this. So many live technical dashboards in November 2025 report the 50-day moving average near or slightly below the 200-day moving average, which is a short-term bearish/death cross risk. But the picture is mixed across exchanges and timeframes. We can see Elliott Wave. A number of chartists interpret XRP as completing Wave 4 correction and entering a Wave 5 impulse. This is common in the bull case write-ups. Elliott counts are subjective. They can offer a narrative that aligns with how.
That's the thing. That's why I use like my own trading patterns, and that's why I follow the charts over here and sometimes ask AI, because you cannot use what everyone else is using. You have to use your own head, basically. And if you look at here, I'm 0.41%. We're going to see if we're going to go down by the end of this video.
Higher targets, but different analysts produce different counts. And of course, we have the volume/momentum. Bullish scenarios typically require increasing volume on rallies and Bitcoin leadership. If rallies are low volume and Bitcoin is weak, alt spikes are likely to fail quickly. This is what we call a blow-off versus a sustainable break. We get a nice rally and instantly plummet back down again. We have seen this actually quite a bit recently. So getting all of this together, one thing I'm already noticing with ChatGPT is that it does define all of these things very well, and it does correlate some of these things to what's currently happening with XRP, but it doesn't go into a lot of detail on exactly how this relates to whether or not XRP is in a bull or bear market.
Yeah, so XRP doesn't really want to say if we're in the bull or bear market. I think ChatGPT, the issue is ChatGPT doesn't really try to predict anything. Like, it's not really helping it, and it also told me the opposite side is going to go sideways. Do you really think this pattern will go sideways? No, it's up 1% right now, or downwards. This is not something that's going to go sideways simply, but we did see some sideways momentum now, but, it's not just going to go down here when it went so red. It's going to start moving, right?
Highest probability outcome right now. So essentially, this is what happens. XRP trades a wide range, roughly between $1.6 to $3, while market participants wait for Bitcoin confirmation, which is a sustained break and hold above the 200-day moving average. This is actually good analysis. That would be about $95,000 per coin.
So this would be the best case scenario. Again, XRP most of the time was not above $3. It was just a few days above $3. So that's something you should consider.
And clear liquidity singles or short-term technicals remain mixed. Right now we're at 500/200 uncertainty, right? So this would mean that the macro liquidity is improving with QT ending, and crypto is ready to start moving up essentially. So this is the base case, which is the highest likelihood, which, frankly speaking, is actually a good analysis. This is what most technical analysts and, people that actually study the markets think. Bull case is a sustained bull continuation into a new alt season, which is a 30% probability. So still a pretty good chance.
I mean, in this year, I think this would be like a 10% chance. I don't think this would happen. Especially look at the charts we have over here. The charts are absolutely bearish for XRP right now. But who knows? Who knows at this point? Like, you could draw anything here and, make a bunch of patterns, and then we suddenly see Bitcoin go up. It's just that a lot of retail is gone from crypto. Doesn't that seem a bit confusing?
Yeah, it's okay. This is like a 1 in 3 chance, basically. What happens is Bitcoin leads, clears and holds above key moving averages. Liquidity eases, a policy pivot, and quantitative tightening confirmed, and then we get regulatory smoke clears or Ripple legal risks fade further. XRP breaks above $3 or $4 with higher volume and enters a Wave 5 impulse in Elliott terms. Many analysts project a multi-X upside in this scenario. Triggers to watch is Bitcoin breaking above the 200-day.
This is what would happen to push XRP for $5. This is something I made of XRP. $5 is very possible by late 2025. This is why I opened a long trade on my 2-bit account, literally for this reason, as you can see, because it's saying a bullish high would be $5 to $15. I don't think $15 is possible, but I do think $8 is possible. Not, I don't know if 2025. It's too late now. But 2026, it's saying bullish high to, bullish high is going to be $8.5, but the average target is 2.32.
Day moving average, or $95,000. Rising market breadth. Fed pivot on a clear end to QT, which we know is happening on December 1st. And of course, we want to see QE in this event as well, is what I think it was trying to say. And rising XRP on-chain flows and ETF into financial product developments. So one thing to really look out for is the supply of XRP on exchanges, right? If we can take
This is a very important factor because like if the whales are buying on exchanges, we will know. So
maybe 20-25% chance, but maybe even a little bit lower than that, honestly. So basically what ChatGPT is telling you guys to look out for here is the Bitcoin 200-day moving average. Probably the single most important thing, honestly. If Bitcoin confirms and stays above 95K,
this is something that I'm also saying, but I also think that at some point in the future, maybe not now, again, don't quote me on this, but maybe in 5-10 years, cryptos are pretty small right now, but in like 5 to 10 years, XRP is going to be big enough to go, further up ahead, to not try to rely on Bitcoin. So will XRP continue to correct or resume the bull run? Both are plausible. I mean, of course, both are plausible. Like, nothing is guaranteed. I don't like how ChatGPT replies, so bear with me, because sometimes I ask it and it says it goes down or sideways first and then going up. Like, it did kind of predict this correctly. I wanted to make a live trade just to show you guys what's possible. But it's also saying if Bitcoin stalls or liquidity tightens or XRP is vulnerable for a deeper correction. And we did see a bounce off 187, and then immediately after 187, it went up, which tells me people at $2 are still buying XRP. They didn't get bored of XRP yet before $2. So just let that sink in.
This kind of says overall that our base case is that we're going to see a continuation. Bitcoin is likely to make clear above 95K according to ChatGPT and stay above. There's about a 45% probability of this happening, and alt season will follow, which I think is what a lot of people want to see.
A lot of people want to see, but 2025 is very bad right now.
A lot of people want to get an XRP season where XRP goes to $5 or $10.
I don't think it's going to happen in 2025.
Maybe even $20 per coin. I still think we're going to probably have to wait until 2026 for this to happen, but who knows, guys? I mean, maybe December will surprise us. I mean, Q4 of...
I don't think so. I think like a surprise in December now is like 20%, 30%. So exactly like this 30%, but who cares? We could just wait until next year, right?
Current price of assets, what we see is XRP is doing pretty good on the day, but Bitcoin is not at 95K and it's really struggling to get there. Right now it's like consolidating, same as XRP, because like it literally told me it's going to go sideways, and it went sideways. So that's something to consider. Sometimes these ChatGPT AIs, I definitely think they're right. So we're going to do a long-term price prediction for this one. So you can see here, we're going to close this profit with 30%, 0.3% profit. We could have closed it at like 1% or whatever, but it's just going sideways right now. We're not too sure. And again, guys, if that's something you want to join me, I'm going to leave in the link description below. A 2-bit race to become the top trader and win 2,500 XRP, 1 million trading volume. Who's going to get it first? Nobody has claimed these prizes yet. So the first person to get 1 million trading volume is going to get 90 XRP free. And 3 million trading volume going to get 180 XRP free. So there's all the descriptions, depositing and everything like that, and getting started trading. That's something I'll keep you guys updated. So yeah, immediately now I made the right call as we are up 1%. And at this point, I can just close it just to show you guys. We went from 1%, we went to 0.13. But I'll take a quarter of a penny of profit. You can see the markets are very unstable right now, and luckily I closed it just before this red candle. So if I closed it just 2 seconds before, this is how trading is super risky. So yeah, let's talk about long-term XRP outlook. So what do you think about XRP? We're going to ask ChatGPT here.
on what his plans are for XRP, and do a price analysis on XRP in general. So we go to 1 hour chart over here, a weekly chart, and see where it goes from here. It's beta. I gotta delete those, but smash that like button if you haven't already. XRP has been an absolute weird market right now. Do a technical analysis so I can explain it to my YouTube viewers. And personally, I'm going to also draw some graphs over here so we get a better, clear understanding. This is a weekly chart here that we're seeing right now, but I'm going to go to daily, so 1 a day chart, and literally we're going towards a downtrend still, right? Still in a downtrend, bad, not good, but I mean, we're still way, way better than when we were at the start, right? So it really makes you confused because you see these prices and the prices are going way, way up. It's not bad at all. It's actually a great improvement of what they did. But compared to where it used to be, like $3.66, of course, some whales will sell that when they had it at like 3.55. So right now, these are the key prices: 116. A lot of people bought at $116, 1.51, and 1.82. So I'm gonna open a trade here and ask ChatGPT for the price prediction. And I do think we're going towards a small uptrend, if you ask me, at least. But right now, in the short term, we are gonna open a trade for small $5 here. Bam, bam, 5. You can actually see we will open it with $5. And did I just get liquidated instantly? No, it just started over here. So analyzing image. It's analyzing the image really wrong. So we can also ask Grok, make a price prediction technical analysis to explain to my viewers. So one of the things with AI right now, it sometimes analyzes the image like way, way too long, but this doesn't matter because we can actually look at what's happening. And it does seem like there's a big chunk of whale selling. Just as I opened my long, it does seem like the whale has further sold. So it gives you a pretty clear idea of where we're at this point. XRP is basically held by those whales who have bought at 116 and they're still selling it for 100% profit. Slowly but surely they're DCAing. Look at this whale. He sold all of his XRP at $2.19. Like a big chunk here, and you can actually check the trades as well. So if you're grinding XRP trades on YouTube, the chart dropped is straight fire. XRP cooled at ascending of $2, broke out on ETF. The pullback, November now, 18% dump on 2.17 support. Your chart's low around 2.9, might be a quick spike, but real time. Neutral to bullish. Price action coiling above the 2.17 support box. Your chart's blue trend line with blue buy volume edging out sales. Stochastics crossing up from oversold, and Bitcoin's 130K push is dragging alts higher. I mean, it's 90K now. So I'm not sure what it's saying. So what is ChatGPT saying? You can see XRP had a strong run up to 2.4, 2.45. Majors resistance. Zoomed in view, short-term left 5-minute chart. What's happening for the last couple of days? XRP has been chopping sideways around 2.19. We had a quick spike. Local support about 2.18. Local resistance 2.24. So this doesn't really matter because this is like 5 minutes. This is going to get absolutely wiped quickly. So bullish case scenario, we break above the cloud and trade above 2.4. And my plan is, because I was telling about the whale selling, is we got to break about 2.6 when the big whale sold. If you check the prices over here, there's a lot of people buying and selling XRP. But we got to check, there's a big whale that sold all of his XRP at exactly like this area. See that? This 29th of November, he sold a very big portion. And then 29th of November, a big whale again sold a very big portion. So it is worrying in that sense. But bearish scenario is we lose the cloud bottom and the $2 support area. The price can visit the lower levels we came in earlier in the year. So what are the prices earlier in the year? Are these like, what would they be? It doesn't even say. So that's something that we gotta find out for ourselves. So the lower levels would be $2. Lower levels this year, I mean, there weren't really bad levels. $1.9. We already tested that this week, so I don't think we're going back. I think we're actually going shortly up. 5-minute chart, you see what's happening from the last couple of days. XRP has been chopping sideways around 2.19. Quick spike. So to sum it up, higher time frame, XRP is neutral inside the Ichimoku cloud, ranging between the support of $2 and 2.4 resistance. Short-term 5-minute chart is also sideways, bouncing between roughly 2.80 and 2.24. I think it's super hard on the weekends as well, because on the weekends, usually people take a break. And when they take a break, the markets suffer. As you can see, my trade right here, right now, is not perfect. Bears want to see price lose $2 and the bottom of the cloud to open room for a deeper drop. Like if we're going below 1.87, I'm pretty sure we can go up to 1.2. 1.3. I think that nothing's stopping us at that point. That's the worrying part. But if we can stay above 1.87, that's going to be the fun part, right? And we already are at 2.2, or maybe a bit different. By the time this video is out, it could be way different. But this is a long-term bullish outlook. So as long as we stay above 1.87, everything's going to be fine. But the most important, XRP is now in decision zone. The next big move will likely come to break out of this range, either up or down. So just remember, these are the clear stages right now we have. These days are the most important factors on when XRP is going to explode or drop. I'll keep you guys updated with more news, and smash that like button. If you guys want to get started trading and join me up with a community of XRP traders, that's something we're going to be looking at. So you could actually join the link description below and get a free bonus trading XRP. You can actually get 90 XRP free if you do 1 million in trading volume. So it's like a competition, basically. You will receive the highest reward from the list if you achieve the trading volume below. And if you do 40 million, you can get 2,500 XRP. You know, go for it. If you like that, this is something for you. Nothing's stopping you. There's even free bonuses that you can just try out with. And that's the most important factor. So smash that like button. We're going to be looking at trading bots, which are risky, guys, but trading bots, do they have ones for XRP? And that's another thing that a lot of people are not talking about. I've been very, very excited about trading bots. If you guys want more content like this, smash that like button. But you can actually check 2bit over here. There's a big competition down in the description below. I did open up a trade for XRP here live. So let me show you this trade. It's a very small one, $74. And again, I'm thinking like I'm scalping it a bit, because right now it's a weird day and it's just going up and down. So if you check over here, I just closed the trade. I closed my first position. And that's something you can join me, link in the description below. I'm going to actually check. You can use XRP trading bots, which is something very exciting. So I'm going to explain what trading bots actually are, which is a pretty cool strategy. XRP trading bots, are they risky? And you can see 7-day return yield, 1,338. So whoever made this trading bot, every time it conducted a trade, it made a 6% increase. It's going to be like an AI strategy. So you go over to markets here, futures. You can learn how to use them. What these XRP future grids long bots actually do, it's not magic AI. It's just the script that opens a leveraged long position on XRP, 5x in your screenshot, places many buy and sell limits orders in a grid between two prices, tries to scalp small movements inside that range. So if you're bullish for XRP, he basically does the work for you. That's a pretty fun idea. Leverage risk, the big one. 5x means a 20% move against you, liquidation. So yeah, I mean, everyone uses 5x. But if you check over here, I want the trading bot that's maybe a bit less profitable. So this one looks nice. what's the minimum margin invested? The minimum amount for running this grid strategy is $100. So basically $100, but if I really want to test it out, and that's what I'm going to do. The bot doesn't protect you from that direction risk. It's locked long. All these future grid bots are one direction long. Of course, if you believe that XRP is going up, these bots can make a lot of money. But if it goes down, you get absolutely destroyed. This is the problem with trading bots. Grid works only if price stays in the band the bot expects, breaks out of the range, your grid is useless and only leaves you big losing future positions. So I'm guessing the grids need to buy, like if price is going sideways, so if price is like here, this is how trading bots work for XRP. And again, they're not free money or anything. They're risky, so take care with that. But I will be telling you guys what type of trade I'm going to be taking. So let's say it's trading between 3.6 and 2.4. As long as it's this ranges, I understand it's going to go up. Fake performance numbers. 7-day yield is usually annualized or based on a tiny starting capital. How is it annualized if it's 7-day? I'm guessing yes, a starting capital because XRP did go up. It doesn't mean you'll get 1,300 reward every week. It just sells the dream. It might. If the exchange goes down, it's not going to go down. It's 2-bit. Safer this spot grid versus future grid. No leverage, holding XRP. These XRP grid bots you see aren't free money. They're just automated leverage trading strategies. That's true. But I still like that they are doing like XRP. You know, you don't have any shorts. Do you have any neutral trading bots? You even have neutral trading bots that give way, way less return. So, you know, this is the one that gives like 70%. This is a very interesting factor. Let's take a look. Can I buy this one? It's $28 to buy it. So I could absolutely try it and see how it works. So it's going to say total investment 151 USD. I have available $30 of margin, but we're using 5x. So if you put $29 and creating this strategy, it's going to trade between. So if it goes to $1, it's going to like, you know, fail. And if it goes to 3.63, it's going to fail. So lowest price is going to buy at 1.8 and the highest price is 2.4. I like this strategy actually. So let me check a neutral and let's get back to these trading bots. This is something I have been very curious about trying. How much do we need to do this one? I like this one, 300%. Maybe it's slightly more risky. So create a strategy, highest price 2.4. So we're going to ask AI here what they actually do and how they work. So what is a grid? Because I wanna learn here. So this is the most important factor. I'd rather have less profit than more profit. A grid is just a ladder of buy orders and sell orders between these prices. Think of it like this. You could choose a low price and a high price. The bot splits that range into several steps grids. Here you picked 5. At each step it places a buy order a bit lower, a sell order a bit higher. Buying lower when it dips to a lower grid and selling higher when the price comes to the next grid. Should I get a long XRP bot that goes up, that goes 1,300% returns, or neutral that is only giving 70 to 130, 300? What's the difference? So it does seem like that there are different type of trading bots and some are giving less returns, and you can actually use them. Link in the description below. I'll be explaining that on what exactly happens with that. But we're gonna start a plan. We're gonna make a. I want to make at least a free burger out of this or a free pizza. So that's like $10, $5, depends when you live. But 1,300% long bot is crazy risky. Pure XRP must go up gamble. 73% to 300% neutral bot, still risky, but more about volatility than direction. Neither is safe. The numbers are marketing, not guarantees. Long XRP grid bot, direction only long. But neutrals is what I like more because yes, they get you liquidated less in case XRP crashes. At least your bot is not going to be gone. You make money if price ranges inside your 1.79 to 240% band and keeps bouncing. You lose money if XRP trends in one big direction, pushing one side toward liquidation. Returns are usually smoother and lower than a lucky long bot, but the risk is still real because it's a leveraged future. Think of it as being a small market maker inside a box, good in sideways chop, bad if XRP escapes the box. So as long as we're above these levels, like $3 and $1, it should start. So we just started our own trading bot. Okay, that's great. So I'm also going to be doing a competition on the 2bit if you guys want to join. Like, I'm going to come back to this trading bot tomorrow and see how it performs as well, if that's something you guys are interested. So if you guys want, there's a link in the description below. You can actually open a trading bot and it's going to do volume as well. And you get 90 XRP free, 2,500 XRP free based on how many trading volumes you do. And there's also a lot of bonuses. If you guys want to use, link description below, and I'll keep you guys updated. We are a small channel right now, but we gotta build up. What about the stop loss prices? I mean, it's pretty bad. Stop loss, if we lose $20, I'm done. Like, you can stop and I'll take $20. Stop loss price must be less than lowest 1.79. All right, so if I far understand, this trading bot is now up and running with a margin of $29. My initial investment of $29, let's see what happens. I really want to try it and see. I'm hoping we're getting a bull market because it would be nice if it goes up. But that's what I opened here right now. I opened my own trading bot that I'm going to be showing you guys tomorrow, like something to return to. Yeah. So we also have... We have here, what else we have? XRP USDT. So we can have here Forex trading, event contracts, Solana USDT, Ethereum XRP, TON, 0G USDT, 1000 MOG. So I'm pretty interested how this trading bot is going to work out. Details. Strategy detail for the trading bot. And, oh, you can actually see over here, grid profit unpaired, margin requirements, available margin $6. So the margin requirement is $23 amount per grid. And is it doing last price 2.19? Did it do any buy orders yet? I don't know. I don't think so. We're just going to wait and let it do the stuff it wants to do. So this is the important factor. All right, guys, I'm going to finish it off here. You guys take care and smash that like button. I'll keep you guys updated with more news. Happy with it. If you don't know what happened, is I was saying that the XRP is going to stop out at, $1, $3. I mean, like, it's going to start at $2, right? And we went from $2, we went to 2.4. But I guess this was enough for the trading bot because it made it be $5 of total profit and loss. And the grid profit is 44 cents. So yeah, obviously when the markets go up, they're absolutely amazing, these bots. If you were to think that we are going to short, these trading bots are amazing too. That's why I love them on 2bit. That's why I love them on the website, because the little thing is they are trading for me. I don't have to set up any trades. I can sit here and wait. And these bots probably know when XRP is going to go down and when it's going to go up. So right now, look at this. If we make the price analysis over here, I made a price analysis way past few days ago, like 5 days ago. And it's still yet following exactly as I predicted. Look, even I made some patterns here and we saw the exact same patterns. Does this mean I'm a genius? No, it just means I was very lucky with these price predictions. Because look at this. The price predictions I did here went way ahead. I told you guys that $2 is going to be the possible scenario. Like $2, 1.87, that's going to be the lowest it goes. And bam, look, this trading bot made me $4 overnight. And that's something I'm doing on my platform, itself. So a lot of people have made money with these trading bots. And that's the good part. Is going to be the possible. So this is what I like to see. Smash that like button, guys, by the way. If you want to feed me, if you want to pay for my meals, that's the way to do it. So what's next for this trading bot is we got to check its stats over here. So let me check where exactly the trading bot is going to go next. Details. We're gonna check what it does and can it, what's next for XRP. So yeah, it's trying to push upwards. I'm kind of worried because it's still like XRP is still a bit bearish. This is the bad part. It's still bearish, but it's going further downtrend since July 2025. So if I open a short from 366, if I just new trading and I open a short here, I mean, this trading bot would make me like 1000% returns. Again, these are not guaranteed. This is very risky. Trading bots are risky. You need to understand trading. So this is not like free money, but a 10% return. Now imagine if, from my challenge, $50 account challenge that I'm doing right now, if I went from, if I have $10,000 and I have a $100 trading bot, this would be already $10 in a single day. And that's why I love crypto. The worst part though is I'm doing leverage right now. So I'm basically borrowing some money from the exchange because it's such a small price point. So everything we lost yesterday because I didn't know how to trade properly is we basically made it back today. $4.5, 33% profit. So the bot basically made 33%, right? You can see P&L, 33%. Absolutely amazing that we're seeing something like that. Could be because of the rise of ETFs, but I personally think why it went up that much is just because the new data came in for XRP. So I feel like that the next plan is I will stop this pot at some point because I don't want to have this bot like destroy me, absolutely destroy me, and I wake up and XRP is like 1.9. That would be devastating. But a 10% return is actually pretty nice here. It would be, I think I opened it, yesterday? So 10%, and we opened it exactly here. And it just went up 4 cents. So yeah, it's gonna close some longs. It's gonna keep selling it until 2.4, as I told you guys. And it's gonna start buying at 1.92. So between these two ranges, it's gonna be absolutely perfect. And it still has a lot to sell. So it's basically mining here right now. This is absolutely amazing, the grid quantity it's done. And in the future, we can open some more. We can open for different cryptos. Anyway, also 2bit link in the description below if you guys want to get started trading. I'm doing a massive, massive bonus right now with giving XRP viewers free XRP for trading volume. I know it's only for 57 days, but a lot of guys don't know about this one. A lot of guys haven't seen that you can sign up in the link in the description below. This is an exclusive offer. It's not like every exchange is offering this. I asked the exchange and we partnered up to work on this. And yeah, this is what I like to see. We're seeing, the futures bot doing well with XRP's lowest price point at $4. And then we're seeing also the other trade absolutely bullish. Let's check that. The other trade should be about $1, and I'm gonna close it soon because it just doesn't feel fair because it's the part of like a bonus trade. So it's just on top of that $1 can be basically like food. It can feed you for a day, like $5. It's absolutely amazing, the power of crypto. So what's happening next for XRP, in my honest opinion, is we are gonna be focusing on a bit of trades, like shorter trades. And then we're going to see also where we can go from here. There's a lot of plans with XRP. I mean, people are trying to push it back to 2.65, 2.6. But a lot of these whales are rejecting it at that point. A lot of these whales are, in fact, selling. And it's a scary thought to have. So I'm still very excited on that. But yeah, overall, my sentiment is I said I was bearish on XRP. But after seeing, it does seem like a lot of these whales are just waiting for the next bull run, for the next price point. They're just selling at a loss. So, yeah. So, let us check this. Ripple XRP Vanguard just made XRP ETF unstoppable. So, the positions I'm making for my XRP up next is we're going to open a long with 25x leverage because we only have about $10. The maximum our position is going to be is, 5% like stop loss, and we can just open a $1 trade. So let us see over here what's possible. But a $1 trade basically means we're like opening a $50 trade with a 50x leverage. So we can go over here, open a long, and go from there. So the order should be open in that sense. And let's check this. Vanguard just made the XRP ETF unstoppable.
What is up, everyone? Welcome back to the Bullwinkle Blueprint. Hopefully all y'all are having an incredible day. It's Tuesday, but you know what? We're creeping through this week. Make sure you're subscribed and you hit that thumbs up button. These next few months in crypto, I'm telling you. And
like these ETFs is the reason why I also open position. Like at my price action, we're opening at least some sort of an 4-hour time frame. We're opening some support levels. Like it's building up. Like we saw a further downtrend, but it's keeping above 2.20 now, not just 2.54. Yes, we saw a huge drop here, but look how it stopped at a 1.87. That's a pretty strong thing a lot of people don't talk about. Stopping at 1.87 and just like going further and further ahead definitely at least tells you something. At least tells you that we have not given up yet.
I'm going to keep telling you, they are going to be insane.
So yeah, my position is open now.
The news we have lined up is just wow. Vanguard. Yes, the same Vanguard that swore up and down they would never touch crypto. Well, they just opened the floodgate.
I mean, that would be huge. If we got a Vanguard ETF, this would be one of the bigger news.
It's for XRP. That's right. This move doesn't change the game, folks. It traps BlackRock into a corner. And
again, BlackRock has the most volume.
Versus a full-out, blown, institutional arms race. The exact kind of race we wanted to see. Get ready for mega money to be throwing around. Because BlackRock, VanEck, Fidelity, they're all about to make it rain on you. What just happened is way bigger than people realize, and you are about to see why. And we are going to start right here, xrprightnow.com. We got to back up. Don't even ask me what happened. I'll just tell you. Well, Rip was in there messing around. I tried to create a subdomain to move the ETF stuff to and keep the news separate. Yeah, I guess I didn't have my coffee because I looked on the wrong page and I hit delete and I deleted everything from the news website. So I spent a good 8 hours yesterday restoring and bringing it all back. I didn't have backups. Anyways, here we are, folks. I should have the ETF page up and running today as well. Stay tuned and hang with me.
Seems like there's a big part for ETFs. Maybe I should make an ETF page. And look at this trade we opened. It's like up 2% now. Obviously, the issue is like the 2% we have is also 2 cents to take profit, so it's hard to scalp this. But we're going on a pretty decent path with the XRP right now. Yes, it's not going to stay above $3. But if we can see like to June 2025, maybe we're going to have a last mini rally before a big drop in the bears. That would be amazing. Like just a small pump. It doesn't even have to be $4 at this point. I don't believe it's going to be happening, but I mean, it just makes sense to go at least, you know, to $3.
But as we come over here, we see the article that came out earlier this morning. Vanguard now offers XRP to its clients. That's right. Here's the article. Let's talk about this.
I mean, yeah, it makes sense to them. I'm still not sure why BlackRock is not doing it. It's a lot of trading volume for them.
So Vanguard, the fortress of old school conservative finance. They are quietly letting their clients access the Bitwise XRP ETF. That's right. And it starts today. This is the same exact firm that blocked Bitcoin ETFs on day one. I want you just to remember that. The same firm that publicly said crypto had no place in a traditional portfolio.
I mean, yeah, because a lot of the people buying are like conservative. They don't want to hold it.
And yet, well, here we are. Why is this huge? It's simple, folks. Because Vanguard isn't some random brokerage. They're the second largest asset manager on the planet. When they move, the entire financial system feels it. And when
Look, it's pretty clear crypto is becoming like XRP is here to stay. It's not gonna just like disappear one day. That's the most important factor. I mean, yes, it could drop to 1.5, but everyone mentioning stock market is also mentioning crypto at this point.
they budge even slightly, it forces every competitor, including BlackRock, to adjust. Here's the real play here, all right? Vanguard didn't support XRP. They didn't endorse crypto, but they did something even more telling. They allowed access. That means
Yeah.
that client demand is now so loud, so persistent, and so profitable that even Vanguard couldn't ignore it anymore. And that directly puts pressure on BlackRock. Because you know what? If Vanguard's clients can buy XRP, guess who can afford to be left behind in the next wave of flows? Exactly, folks. This is the start of the institutional FOMO cycle.
We need BlackRock if we ever want to get close to XRP Bitcoins. That's what I was saying in June 2025. I was literally saying that to everyone in June 2025. If we don't get BlackRock, it's going to be hard to get a big volume.
Lined this up over the years. Institution cycle this year. Everyone who's ever been on a one-on-one call with me, I've been telling you this exact same thing. And utility cycle in the next, well, the next run, I should say. Which brings us over to this. Oh no, man, I hate when they go on TV and people make recordings and they catch them saying stuff. This is Vanguard CEO. Yeah, that's him on your screen. Want to know what makes this crazy? Publicly calling Bitcoin not a store of value. That's right. Saying it doesn't belong in a long-term portfolio. And then all of a sudden, you're quietly just letting your clients buy crypto ETF anyways. You know what that is, everyone? That's what happens when institutions realize they're about to miss a generational money flow. They talk tough publicly, right? But behind the scenes, the boardroom.
Long-term portfolio. I mean, if you just offer like people a way to buy, who cares? So that's the thing. You can just offer people, and you like, why are they making decisions like for their clients? Like, are they gonna include them in portfolio and make people buy it? That would be amazing for the prices, though. Don't get me wrong, but I just can't see this.
It is panicking. Like, okay, fine, just give them access. Don't make us look like clowns when XRP and Bitcoin runs. Listen.
Spot Bitcoin ETFs. Question came in, hey, we know you're not offering one. Have you changed your mind? What would it take for you to change your mind? We don't plan to, and we don't, we're not going to change our minds around this unless the asset class changes.
Yep.
Before, why? First of all, we don't believe it belongs. Like a Bitcoin ETF belongs in a long-term portfolio. Someone's saving for their retirement. It's a speculative asset.
That's exactly it.
And the funds that we offer invest in asset classes that actually have underlying cash flow. So, like we mentioned stocks, you're buying the forward earnings of a company.
That's right.
And that bond, right,
has coupon and principal
I mean, Vanguard, if you're not going to offer it, like, the thing is, others will.
payments.
yeah,
that
you're going to
happen.
pay me back and you're going to pay me something for lending you the money.
Exactly.
Right? So they both can be valued. And that's, for us, we understand why they would rise up in a portfolio and the role they will play, and we can model them. Something like Bitcoin is just too volatile, and it's not a store of value. It hasn't been. And it's very volatile. When stocks got hammered in recent crises, that Bitcoin went right with them. And so it is speculative, really tough to think about how it belongs in a long-term portfolio.
That's the thing. We wait here for like XRP to go back up to 2.17, 2.19. I think it could go at least to 2.9 here. It just shows why I have a positive trade open. It makes great sense. Like, this is it shows you that the bulls are starting to push out, at least they want to push out, and go forward and have a, attack on it. Like, they want to push the prices up. It makes sense with the ETFs opening. It would be bullish, but it's not going to affect the prices that much. Like, again, if ETFs get accepted, you can bet that some whale is going to like pump $2 already.
To get an update from this guy. I would love it.
I mean, that would be great. Look at XRP right now. Sits at $2, but the whales are starting to push it above $2. Like, remember when XRP was 50 cents? Bam, everybody wants to buy it.
This is how it always happens, though, folks. We know that. They deny it, they resist it, and then they bet that
It's just too much money for them not to list the BlackRock XRP ETFs. It's just too much money.
need when the liquidity and the demand is too big to ignore. Remember, if the second largest asset manager on earth cracks, the rest are going to follow. They have to follow. Unless you're gonna have your little Netflix moment, right? Blockbuster thought they were too good. No one was gonna catch up to them, right? They were gonna dominate renting movies. Netflix was like, well, I don't think people really want to rent. We're just gonna start streaming and charging people. Blockbuster was like, yo, okay, good luck. Blockbuster didn't adopt, and
That's why you have to do this stuff. Like, you gotta go first thing, because they're gonna get left behind. And look, this is a pretty big thing. Vanguard is like the second biggest to BlackRock, and you can see obviously a lot of these are, way bigger than we expect. Like, the bulls are hitting out.
I got
here.
you. I think it's the Rex. Well, XRPI, yeah. And then no, that's ProShares. Excuse me. And then you got your Rex as well, just sitting there under non-Vanguard funds in the digital asset category. It's not a glitch, folks. It's not an accident. This is a back-end shift and a green light for a brand new asset class. Platforms don't casually add new categories, folks, unless they expect big flows. And once a $1 trillion firm opens the pipe, guess what? Every other major institution has to follow, or they risk losing assets to competitors. This is how crypto becomes unavoidable. I'm sorry to say it. It's true. It's not through headlines, but through the platform availability. And once it's
Like, just give the people the option to buy,
available, well, guess what? The masses roll in. Now, folks, if you're not a part of my free newsletter yet, what are you doing?
So yeah, it tells you the pretty clear idea of what's happening. Breaking mass, Fed liquidity rejection, all of that. It's looking good. It's really looking good, at least for now. Someone massive just went all in on XRP. Did we just get a new XRP whale? Because I did see a massive buy, an uptrend here from 1.87 to $2. And we never went to 187. So this is the important factor. We need whales.
What is up, everyone? Welcome back to the Bullwinkle Blueprint. Hopefully all of you are having an incredible day, and hopefully your day's over. You're driving home from the old 9 to 5. Look, make sure you subscribe to the channel, hit that thumbs up, and make sure you are following, because I'm telling you, these next few months in crypto are gonna be insane. Because today's story, it's not a rumor. It is not speculation. It is a move that is happening right under the market's nose.
The whales are buying secretly at 1.87. If you check the trade books, I'm going to show you the trade books on 2Bit, guys. Look at these trades. The order book for 2Bit right now is actually pretty good. Like, a lot of these whales have been slowly buying XRP. 750,000 are selling, but a lot of them 560K buying. So it tells you a pretty clear idea of what's happening.
And the people paying attention, they're already connecting the dots. Someone massive just went all in on XRP. And the timing, it couldn't be any better. And it's not an accident, folks. We're going to break this down piece by piece, and we're starting with the hammer right here. Right off the bat, this is one of those not fluff headlines. People think, oh, this is fluff. I don't really understand it. Well, you're going to understand it, Tom. I'm done with it, because this is big. This is Singapore. Yeah. One of the strictest, cleanest, most globally respected financial regulators on the planet. Expanding Ripple's.
I mean, I'm not too sure if a whale bought in here. It makes absolutely no sense. Like, the Lee code is the most important standard digital global identifier. So what? I mean, we got to look at the data. You can say someone went all in, right? But if there's no data to support it, it's just that. It's just like empty space. So you can see here on his bullish call saying Bitcoin could not smash. Like a lot of these news you're getting here. So much of this news you're getting here. We're already seeing, right? It's already priced in. And I used to always watch news. I always used to watch content. But the issue with this I have is it just already came out. Unless something crazy happens that not even the biggest whales expect. It's absolutely like a nothing burger. So that's why I have been focusing on my content more on the data itself, more on the trades. Because once you understand what these whales are doing, what they're buying, then you're going to see that this is all priced in. This is like the whales just working their magic. Even since the SEC era, we have been having the same scenario happening now for Bitcoin, XRP, Ethereum for the last 5 years.
The monster under your bed. Japan's yield spikes. Your carry trade unwinds. Trillions, in leveraged global positions.
Look at this. Look at this data. 6K sold, 1.7K bought, 4K bought. You know, right now you can clearly see with the data we have, all the data, that whales are buying and whales are selling. They're trying to make money on the market. Look, even me, I'm up 6% on my last trade that I opened with you guys. I'm going to keep it open because I feel like XRP is going to go to 2.10. I have a take profit at $1.52, but that's how I'm going to do it day by day. I'm going to show up. I'm going to grind. I'm going to check the data that the whales left us, and we're going to see what happens.
Are forced to dump. Look, when we look at this, all of this funnels into December 18th. The Bank of Japan's decision. If they hike, liquidity drains. Bitcoin's going to retest about 75,000, exactly the same levels where it started its move upward. If they pause, we get a violent short squeeze straight back towards six figures. And during your liquidity...
Look at this position, 8.8% gains. We're still not closing it. Because I can see the data here. I can understand what the XRP whales are buying. Once you understand that this, what we have right now, the news we have, correlates with the data over here, it makes so much more sense. Look, I'm 20%. While we were watching this video, I'm 10% up. So 10% up because I understand, I'm starting to understand what's going on. I'm literally understanding more than if I watched 100 of these videos. That's the problem here.
Small cast, oversold plays, underpriced charts, and yes, crypto. April to May 2026 or even late 2026. That's your projected window. The moment where liquidity floods back into the exact sectors that got punished the hardest. Here's the point. If you know a rotation...
An absolute spike just happened. I'm up 15% on the trade itself. Because of the whales, like ETF news and stuff like that. The whales buy way before that. But this is definitely good news overall.
Respected financial regulators on the planet. Expanding Ripple's major payment institutional license. Now, after reading this, my first reaction to it, this is regulatory greenlighting at the highest level possible. Not a sandbox, not a trial, a fully licensed end-to-end payments operation and one of the biggest global hubs for cross-border.
This is the thing. I think a lot of this like operations we have, they're not really expanding XRP right now, but they might do it 5 years after. Like, yeah, you can expand that you just bought a company which is bullish. But again, it's literally the whales that are buying right now that made my portfolio 15% up. And that's the most important factor, right? I'm up $1 here, up 15% just because of the whales that have started to buy and wanting to get back on the market because they expect another smaller pump.
Money movement. Why does it matter? It's simple. For years, the XRP community talked about real-world utility, corridors, institutional rails, and this is what it looks like when the narrative becomes reality. Singapore doesn't hand these things out like coupons, folks. This signals, I should say, serious throughput that is coming. This signals approval expands RippleNet's reach. It tightens the global settlement loop, and yes, it quietly strengthens the foundation for something much larger. Momentum begins here, and here's the Ripple Insights article coming out December 1st, talking about the key benefits of the Ripple payment system, talking about obviously your digital ledger.
I mean, cool, but we were talking about this, even the price was $2. We've been talking about this when the price was 3.66. You know, I'll keep my trade open, I'll listen to the news, I'll eat the cereal, but it really needs like a big boost in order to make it a game changer at this point. So I'm just wondering, where are we gonna go from here? And the answer is obviously a small uptrend. That's my prediction. Look, I'm 12% up on this trade as I started this video. It's very obvious that the bulls are pushing out higher. So you can just wait and see what happens. Maybe it's going to be, you know, 1.15, 2.11. That's the prices I'm waiting for. But if we get to these prices, right, this would be a perfect momentum. Now, there's two possible scenarios here. We're now at 2.4. My XRP bot and whatever it is actually went, you know, big. So that's good. It made some profit. We're making trades. We're making profit. We're trusting the process. But there's two possible scenarios. Either XRP gets a small push to 2.4, 2.5. This is the first scenario. So 2.5 are the key areas here. That's the first one. The second option we have for XRP is we push over downtrend to 1.87. We go back to 1.87 and retest that area. So I'm really wondering where that will happen. It's a good question right now. Push to 2.42. What's happening with my internet? Okay, we're live. That's good. We're absolutely live, so that's good. And that's pretty much the important factor we have right now is, yeah, we're pushing 1.86 or 2.6. So we could be retesting back to a smaller price. And then we could start a bear market. You know, this is definitely possible, like a bear market starting. But so far, my trades, which I have opened a trade on 2Bit, guys, link in the description below if you guys want to get joined. I did do an XRP competition there. I'll leave a link in the description below anyway. You can get up to 2,500 XRP for free if you do a lot of trading volume. If you're a big whale, join me up, you know, and click the link in the description below. And you can get a free bonus as well. Just like for signing up, you get a free bonus. But that stuff aside, let's actually focus on the core point here and where we go from here. So it seems pretty clear that, you know, everyone wants the BlackRock listing, but nothing, like the whales still haven't bought BlackRock yet.
Today,
So BlackRock has not been bought out yet, and the whales, like if we get a BlackRock listing, this would immediately push us to $2.2.
End of QT with you guys. As many of you know, quantitative tightening ended today, December 1st. And the question I've been seeing the most is what's going to follow for XRP? And so for the first time ever, I'm going to be using some new tools and a deep dive analysis to bring you guys the answers that you all deserve to know. So the first thing I want to talk about are moving averages, because right now something undeniable is happening. But first, I got to show you guys what's happened every single time previously. Basically, every single previous XRP and Bitcoin bear market has been marked by the price of these assets going below the 50-week SMA. Now, I'll first show you XRP right here. as we can clearly see back here in the fourth month of 2018, we actually dipped right below the moving average right here. And
So yeah, that was what 2018. That data could be very old at this point. My position is still open at 12% profit. So I'm just gonna keep it open for now, but pretty cool. Like to see some data when XRP was still under a lawsuit. So
following that,
trading while you have someone super bullish saying big guy XRP, how does it help? It doesn't really. The reason why I'm doing it, the reason why I'm making these videos is because I'm waiting for a trade and I'm looking at a data that could be, and I'm trying to find some indicators here. I should actually be watching proper content. But something like this, I like to watch data like this. You know, something like this instead of like bullish news or ETFs or BlackRock, I like to actually see what's happening with the Bitcoin price in 50-week SMA.
To around 28 cents, and we did not.
So yeah, it's up 15%, but I'm just going to keep it open for another 30, 50 minutes. Because yeah, we're building, if we look at the 5-minute time frames over here. So let me just load up for this. It's taking some time for some reason. If you look at the like 1-minute time frame, if you skip these order books, if you close this down, all this data, if you just look at the core charts, again, for some reason it's not loading, but what I'm guessing it's doing, it's building up higher lows and basically higher highs. So that's something that it should be doing on the like 1-minute chart. Yeah, look at that. It like, you know, some people took profit and now it's going shortly up.
Crossed that level for quite some time. This once again happened right here in 2021. This break of the moving average was a lot cleaner because the crypto market was a lot more established at this time. On the 26th of December 2021, we broke below the 50-week SMA, and then we very quickly bottomed out in the bear market, and then eventually we broke above, and that was the next bull market. Fast forward to today. As of this date right here, the 26th of October, we broke below the 50-week SMA, and since then, we have been on what many people have been describing as a free fall for XRP. History is likely to repeat itself. I do think that, yes, much like what happened back here in 2021, when we break below the SMA right here, we're probably going to go down here, find a bottom. We're going to bounce back up. People will think the bull runs.
This is the thing. The data, this one is during the lawsuit. So how can you trust this data when XRP was still below $1 and then going for another prime bull run? There was so much stuff wrong in 2022 that caused the recession, right? So this is the important factor. I'm not hyped to buy it. I just want to look at the data. I want something objective.
Back in motion, but we're not going to break the 50-week SMA, and eventually we're going to find our bottom in the bull market following that. We have yet to see the bounce yet. We're just finding our bottom right now. I mean, we did get a little bounce right here, but we did not.
I mean, I would say the 1.87 was the bottom, but I could be totally wrong.
Test anywhere near the moving average. So we're going to see how this plays out. I do expect us to, bounce somewhere around in the $2 range. When we do get that bounce, and then we're going to continue on to the bear market. So that's essentially what I am preparing for here. Now, XRP is not the only cryptocurrency where we've seen this phenomena. We've also seen this with Bitcoin. If we look at the Bitcoin chart, what we can clearly see is right here, the 50-week SMA, we broke below this in 2022, and then we found our bottom in the bear market right there. And
so let us zoom out over here and check if this is true. So if we go under one, I guess like we could go to a daily time frame. All right, so it's obviously not working, but it just looking at the data over here, to me, it just feels like that from the data we have right now, right? And if you look at the previous like years, so for example, like 2017, if we look back in the past, XRP only stayed above $3 only for a few weeks at a time. It didn't stay, long forever. So I'm 20% here long. So I will just close this position right now because I feel like 20% is good enough at this point. 2.5 to 5 cents at 2.11, that would be amazing. But we made some pretty good bets here, 6%, 16% profit and loss. It's fine enough to close it. Could just keep it open for a bit longer.
Once again today, well, we broke below it. There it is. And we can see, of course, right here, we broke below it. We found our bottom. This is something that's happened very consistently every single bear market, every single bull market for Bitcoin. And once we get a clean break of the moving average, well, that's when we generally break those all-time highs following. As we've seen right here, when we broke above this moving average in 2023, as we saw over here, when we broke above this moving average in 2020,
So yeah, again, these were such different time frames, such different volume that I was saying for quite some time. So I could just close this position actually. We saw a big short over here. I could have taken a 20% profit, but it does seem right now that, you know, some big whale decided to sell everything and then they decided to bounce back, make a higher top.
shortly thereafter, of course, we did hit.
Like, this is the important factor here. You go from basically 2.3 to 2.5. It doesn't tell enough data. But also, if you take a look, you know, data from 4 years ago, 4 years ago in a crypto space was very much different time. So it's not enough to tell you. In my personal opinion, it's just not the thing. Like, a lot of people look at the data right now. They're like, sure, let's go. Let's keep going up. And honestly, I think we can hit 2.11 cents. That's when I'm going to be closing my position.
At those new highs in 2021. And so what does any of this have to do with quantitative tightening? Well, the short answer is absolutely everything. If we go back to 2020, 2019, right?
I mean, I watch Levi a lot, and quantitative tightening is cool, but the issue here is it's already priced in. You know, I feel like a lot of the whales, will buy a massive supply. Maybe they're stocking up now at $2.
Here, quantitative tightening was also ending around this period of time, guys. Quantitative tightening ended. You know, we found our bottom. We broke above the moving average, and then quantitative easing started. And then guess what? We hit those all-time highs. And so I do think we're going to see something very similar here leading into 2026. And so I also want to show you guys some historical accounts of what's happened to the price of crypto following quantitative tightening ending. So we can see the QT period right here that I want to focus on first is 2017 to 2019. The end date was July 31st, 2019. 30 days following quantitative tightening ending, Bitcoin actually went down in price, a decent amount, as did Ethereum. And then, of course, leading into 2020, 2021, that is eventually when we got the next bull run and we hit the new all-time highs.
I mean, yeah, but we also expected 2025 November to be like one of those massive rallies. And look what we got in the end. We got, like, you know, November is canceled. December is slightly bullish. It just doesn't make any sense at all. A lot of the whales have sold if you look at the data. So quantitative tightening is coming when? December 1st. So yeah, we did get a price increase from 2.2 to 2.5. That was the price increase from December 1st. Actually, the December 1st price increase was from, let me check. What was the bottom for December 1st? December 1st, we went from 1.98, so we went up 7 cents, if that tells you something from the quantitative tightening, which could happen.
Yes, the bear markets are pretty much always shorter than the bull markets, guys. And what causes the bull markets to really hit those highs is quantitative easing. And so that's why I think 2026.
So look at this position, 20% up. 20%, literally 20%, because if you trust yourself, if you look at the data, and not this data, not YouTubing, because I like news, don't get me wrong. I like news, but they're not enough. You got to look at the charts, then you are in the positive. You are in the, like, green, basically.
Is going to be a crazy time because, well, we go back to July of 2019. Let's go take a look. Right here, guys. Boom. We hit that quantitative tightening, it ends. We go down, we just barely break it. We find our bottom right here at a $5,000 Bitcoin in 2020. When did the Fed announce QE? In 2020. Let's take a look at that. March 15, 2020. First emergency move. The Fed cuts rates and announced $700 billion in QE. March 15th. I want you guys to remember this date. We look right here. Right following us hitting these bottoms. This also, by the way, decimated the S&P. We announced the QE, and then the rally starts within the following months, guys. We announced it in March. We go to April. The price starts to climb, right? More rate cuts happen. More stimulus happens. The price keeps...
This would be nice, but I think this is going to be delayed until like potentially June, July. So when it happens in June, July, great, but it's not going to be before that. Maybe we're going to be seeing some sort of a downtrend. This is just a short bump we're seeing right now.
Once we do that, much like what happened back in 2021 for XRP, much like what happened back in 2021 and 2017 for Bitcoin, we're likely to find our bottom once we fail that, if we do fail that. But if we break above and hold above, bull market can continue. I'm just saying that is not likely based off of all of the historical data that we have. Also, factoring in rate cuts and quantitative easing. You can see there was lots of stimulus that we had in 2020, and that's truly what allowed us to hit these numbers. I think the craziest thing about everything that we're seeing right here with Bitcoin and XRP, this bull run, is we were tightening. We had quantitative tightening this entire bull market, guys. So if I am indeed correct...
I mean, I think the main issue is there just isn't enough retail to push out. Look what happens when we talk about the big whales. My profit, my trade is now 25% up. So if I had a $1,000 position, that would be $250. Absolutely amazing trade I just made. And also the trading bots I opened yesterday based on my indicator, link description below, for a free XRP bonus over here to win 2,500 XRP. Trading volume 1,090,000 XRP. So a very important factor here, guys, is look, I'm 30% up. A lot of the whales, when we talk about the whales, is just simply that. It's noise. It's most of the whales right now are not retail. They are big institutions buying tons and tons of XRP, and they're going to sell it.
Like the pandemic checks, the stimulus...
I'm actually 30% up on my trade, which is just incredible. And this one is 9 up as well, which is amazing.
Stimulus checks. The tariff dividends, they're going to come through. So this is realistically all we need to wait for. This is the connection between QE, QT, moving averages, and XRP. If you found this information helpful, if you thought that it was interesting, please let me know. Smash the like button. And also, if you want to get access to this dashboard where I have all these amazing charts and tools.
So yeah, guys, I'll keep you updated on this one. Let's do XRP price update. This is the stuff I want to see. XRP price update. I like videos like this as well. So I watched clinics for a lot of these XRP price updates, not just use itself. So be careful to
basically at the same levels.
So clinics is someone I've been watching, but yeah, my position is still open at 28% on 2bit. I will close it shortly. I'm on the 1 minute time frame, so that's a pretty important factor. 26%. I feel like 26% is just fine, just to show you guys that it's possible. I know I said it would go 2.11, but I am fine taking my trades here. I'm guessing I could take more profit at 2.11. Well, it went through, and I could also close this one, but I'm just going to keep it open just in case the markets improve a bit. Like right now, we're seeing a huge drop because this is like a future bonus, so this is a great way. This is actually the bigger trade. This is what, $60? $60 position, and I'm $1.5 up.
However, we have some major XRP ETF news that I want to very much talk about. Yeah. I think it's a very bullish development on its own, but especially also a bullish development when you compare it to some of the other ETF flows we have seen in the last 24 hours. And we'll talk about the technicals, but ultimately the technical situation for XRP has also not changed a lot. The fundamental situation around the markets, right?
So yeah, this is a very good technical indicator. Basically, the fundamentals are the same. Everything is the same. The whales are still buying. It's just that there's not enough demand to push it back to 3.66. If you look at 3.66, a lot of the whales and a lot of retail was there, like watching XRP, doing XRP. They still do that, but the prices are going down, and now a lot of people are pissed off.
I would argue, at least, if you look at the daily time frame, is still bullish as well. But we'll talk about that a little bit later. First, let's talk about some fundamentals for XRP specifically. So not those boring market-wide fundamentals, but XRP ETF fundamentals. Before we do that, I do want to briefly tell you that if you hear if I sound a little bit nasal and if you hear me sniffing a little, I have some sort of an infection, which is not amazing. There's this pain in my chest, which also makes these videos a little bit harder to record. I'll be fine, but please bear with me if you do find those irritating, those symptoms. But for now, let's talk about the good things in life. Good thing in life is the following. If we look at ETF inflows right now,
I mean, the ETF inflows, they are good, don't get me wrong, but they're nothing like what we expected. People were talking about billions and billions of trading, and trading volume, billions, same as Bitcoin, but we got just millions, right? So we need more ETF inflows to really see the price go up.
Yesterday, XRP had inflows again of about, it was a little bit higher. It actually showed other data about a little bit earlier ago. I'm not sure what went on there, because I tweeted this morning about $90 million of inflows for XRP.
And again, 19 million is almost nothing in my opinion. Like if XRP has 1.4 billion, 2 billion volume per day, 22 million is nothing.
Not correct. It's showing right now that it's less, which it does change my perspective a little bit on XRP. But ultimately right now, they still had about $22 million of inflows for the XRP ETF, which I would say is bullish, especially given the fact that if you look at all the other inflows, for Solana, for example, those were negative. For Ethereum, those were negative. You can see that right here.
It could be also because the ETFs were just posted right now today. Like a lot of ETFs are coming in and there's still ETF hype. You know, XRP, Bitcoin, those ETFs were for some time. So of course, it's not the same hype. Maybe some people are just buying the ETFs just for fun.
And for Bitcoin, I would argue maybe they were positive. But yeah, Bitcoin had some very mild positive inflows. But ultimately, it boiled down to less in dollars than XRP. So we're continuing to see that fundamental growth, or at least that fundamental strength for XRP. This is a little bit of a risk because I did not look this up before the video. But one of the key fundamental things that I liked a lot about Ripple as well is that we saw the RLUSD growth, which at this point of time is still going on in the last.
Again, a very, very small price change that would be. On long term, this is bullish. But on the short term, not so much. Again, I feel like we're breaking some sort of barriers here. Some people are taking profit, so there's no need to short. But I'm actually feeling pretty safe because my trade was so positive to short a bit further on this one. So we could just open a short over here. Very small one though. I actually maybe it's better that we don't even take a short because we didn't take a stop loss. That's the number one thing we should have done. So I might just close that anyway. Because as you can see, for some reason, my market is crashing. Look, absolutely terrible. I didn't open a stop loss. And then you try to flash close and you're already like 4% down. It's terrible.
We had about a 2% growth. Last month, it's up about 30%. So that's amazing as well. So the fundamentals are good for
That's
XRP.
Absolutely amazing.
Like I said,
I tried to keep pressing it like to stop and it just wouldn't stop for some reason, which is my bad because maybe I have so many tabs open, but it definitely shows you that always use a stop loss, guys. Always. And that was a stupid trade from my side as well. I'm still waiting for XRP to hit higher highs, maybe 2.11. This is my main trade open, so we're doing like $10 challenge. Actually, $50 challenge account. So what we're going to do is we're going to see how far we can go with $50. And we have the trading bot. We can later check on that. But first, we got to focus on the fundamentals. This is not helping the prices enough.
Growth, which at this point of time is still going on. In the last week, we had about a 2% growth. Last month, it's up about 30%, so that's amazing as well. So the fundamentals are good for XRP. Like I said, on the higher time frames, we're holding the most important level we have right here at $2, right? $2 is, first of all, a very respected level on the higher time frame.
This is what I agree. $2 is awesome. Look at the prices going up. I actually feel bad for closing that 30-cent trade. Could have kept it more open. I still feel we're going to 2.11, but I just kind of fear at opening that because I already have this one open anyway.
As you can see, has provided support numerous times over the last year. And we still have a bit of ammo left lower. And $2 also a psychological level. But what I mean with that ammo left lower is that if you really zoom in on XRP right here, and this is a different chart, which is very interesting as well. But if you look at XRP right here, like the initial reaction we've had to this single print right here at $2 has not been amazing. Like, we haven't seen a lot of new momentum coming in from that level, which is ideally something you do want to see. But we have held it, and we still have some
just closing above $2. I think 187, as I said, is the line.
imbalances, some strong single prints, and a naked point of control here in the area between 1.92 and 1.98 that we have not touched yet, which... Do I expect us to touch those levels? I think it's a possibility. I wouldn't necessarily expect us to touch those areas because there is some new bullish pressure coming into Bitcoin through the fundamentals. But ultimately, we still have that, right? And that can only be a good thing. So with or without that spike down, I think we're holding this general support. I think we have the fundamental reasons to expect some sort of a move.
So did this happen? This actually, I feel like it almost happened. We went with 1.9. I don't know if we're going to even touch 1.9 at this point. As I said, I'm agreeing with Clinics here. We're going to push up to 2.2, maybe even 2.4. Like, we're definitely going to push up to 2.5. This is why I should kept a long open. You know, it's going absolutely bonkers up to 7 cents now. I'm still keeping a trade open, which is up 10%. So that's the important factor here.
To the upside as well. And then the big test for XRP is going to be this level right here at 2.14 and 2.16. That's the top of the fair value gap that we left yesterday, or in the
This is when a huge whale took like a sale.
night from Sunday to Monday.
Yeah, so I made $6 today with the trading bot. So it's obviously, I'm going to keep him open and just let it do its own thing.
We have the 7-day rolling VWAP, and that's also when we're talking about last week's structure. That's also the value area low. So if we get a pretty strong rejection there, that could turn out to be bearish on the higher time frames for XRP. But for now, short term, I think we're holding support, and I think we can rally into that. So I have nothing left to say in regards to the short term. Long term, I'll talk to you when it's a little bit more relevant, or when we have a little bit more information regarding that. So keep an eye out.
I mean, yeah, it does go completely as he's predicted. Bitcoin's going up, XRP is going up. It's just the most important factor. So yeah, it gives you the clear idea of what's going on here. 2.7 is absolutely amazing. You know, it is going maybe further, 2.20. We need to see what happens next with this. But yeah, I would kind of agree with that. I mean, it's exactly as I predicted. I don't agree we're going to 1.9. So who knows about that. We do have Ethereum update. What's happening with Ethereum? I'm just curious really fast.
Yesterday, what that means for the price action today. We'll talk about ETF inflows for Ethereum, which we have some meaningful things to talk about. And we'll talk about important levels that we need to hold. I mean, in all honesty, at this point of time, like what I've said for Ethereum, I think yesterday as well, or at least I was thinking a little bit like yesterday, I'm not certain.
I mean, Ethereum ETFs, they've been a bit understated the past few years, which was a bit sad, but at least we see the prices not being $2,000 anymore. I mean, that's what I'm sad about.
If I said that we were going to drop down into this level right here at 2,750, which was the last naked point of control, right? I mean, when we were consolidating here at the top last week, we had 3 major naked points of control, which usually get tested. One at 2,940 that got tested very, very quickly. One at 2,830 tested very quickly as well. And then the last one at 2,750.
Yeah. So it's keeping building like those momentums. It seems like institutions are coming in as well, which kind of makes sense. Was about time. Let me do my own price analysis as well for XRP here. I mean, Ethereum, not XRP. Yeah, you know, like I don't want to see $1,000 like Ethereum yet, but it just got dumped over 5,000. So it does seem like we're going through these two ranges. $4,000, $4,000, and then Ethereum is another factor here. Where do we go? Ethereum is like the bottom was $1,200, and this was this year. Can you imagine, guys, $1,500 for Ethereum in 2025? Like, what is going on with Ethereum? I mean, I'm just hoping like it goes home finally. So yeah, it does seem like sort of, you know, a downtrend momentum basically. If you look over here, downtrend momentum, obvious downtrend momentum, bam. So very, very sad to see that for Ethereum. But again, it just needs a push from Bitcoin,
which we have dropped down all the way into earlier yesterday, and so far we've been able to hold that, so that's good. That was also to be expected, but ultimately dropping down all the way to the last naked point of control right there is a bearish sign, right? I mean, if Ethereum would be bullish, it would have found support right here at either the first or the second one, and we would have found strong support there, which we didn't, and we would have rallied up. So generally, the situation for Ethereum is not amazing. Like I still do think, and that is what I've said for the last couple of days as well, and for the last week, I still do think that Ethereum is forming a local bottom right here, right? So if we zoom all the
yeah. So could this local bottom? I think it could be like even $2,000. $2,000 for the local bottom isn't so bad. Like you can see here, obviously people were buying at 2,000, like it was just trading sideways. Bam, goes a bit further down, right? Until suddenly, like we see all these whales buy it back up.
the way out. Let me quickly fix my charts here. If we zoom all the way out, I do think this support level that we have found earlier between 2,700 and 2,800, not specifically, but that's the general area. I do think from there we can find some more support than what we've seen so far. So far, we've gotten a move into the yearly rolling VWAP, which is a very strong resistance level. So it's definitely not nothing, and it's not strange that we found such strong resistance there, but I do think we can move into that again. I think we can consolidate down here a little bit, and I think we can potentially get a move into 3,200. I said that for the entire last week. I still do believe that. However, I do think generally the technical development that we've seen, the price action that we've seen from Ethereum is bearish, more bearish than expected. And ultimately what we're also seeing is that the fundamentals around the markets...
Yeah, this is what I'm scared of. Like, but could it change around maybe June, July? Obviously, it's not going to be this year. This year has been an absolute disaster for Ethereum, unfortunately. And trust me, I do love Ethereum, so it's sad. It's sad to see that.
Are also not amazing. If you look at ETF inflows, we've had outflows of about $80 million yesterday.
Yeah, so whales are selling. I mean, all these bullish news we're getting for ETH, and this is happening.
Very much driven by Grayscale, which is something that doesn't always happen, but that is the place, obviously, where a lot of selling pressure can be expected from. That's also the main place where we got a lot of selling pressure from when the Ethereum ETF launched. This will be critical to watch to see if we actually continue to get outflows, which would be very bearish. Then
we need those whales back. Like retail is out. That's the main issue with XRP. Like, look at how much it exploded, like 2021. Can we ever get this retail back? If not, it's going to be a problem. Bam. Immediately 2022, I can't even believe XRP bottom at 9.37 in 2022. It's sad. It's sad to see that, but yeah, it really pains me to see. I'm definitely hoping more of them are going to join, more of the XRP ETFs, but I mean Ethereum ETFs. But
yesterday, eventually I
kind of agree with that as well. I have to agree with all of his price analysis anyway.
We formed value between 2,760 and 2,880, fall down below 2,760, and it becomes much more likely that this is not going to be the bottom and that we're going to drop down into the next support level, which would be this area right here around 2,500, which would be another drop of about, what is it, like 15% or so? 10%. So that is not what we want. Ultimately, given the way that the fundamentals look, the general markets, the general financial market fundamentals, so that I'm talking about unrest, I'm talking about the S&P 500, I'm talking about a few relevant fundamentals for Bitcoin, which Ethereum is obviously very correlated to. given those, I would still say it's most likely that we will be able to get a good reaction here and that we will be able to get some more recovery
We're also waiting for Bitcoin.
into 2880 and into 2930. There we
Yep.
have a single print. We have the point of control of the first move down yesterday, high volume move. We have the 7-day rolling VWAP. I think upside for now is capped there. I don't think we are strong enough, especially with the ETF.
I mean, a lot of people are saying quantitative tightening, but I don't see it. If we didn't see XRP, I mean, Ethereum breaking 6,000 is going to
Like
be
I
hard.
said at the start of the video, but that is not something I would trade because of at this point of time, right?
It's risky. Risky when we catch the falling knife, basically.
If that makes sense. But those are my thoughts. That's what I think you need to know regarding Ethereum at this point of time. If you do have any questions, let me know down in the comments. For now, thank you for watching. Take care and bye.
I do agree with that actually here, that this is the most important factor we have for XRP. I'll be right back, guys. I'm just gonna stop this stream. I'm gonna make a thumbnail for the SEC chair and we're gonna go from there.